Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Socially Responsible Podcast. My name is Damien, a.k.a. Maverick.
I'm a phenomenon!
The devil's fucking advocate. You like that, don't you? Hey, what do you think? Hey, that was... Come on, man. You know where I got that from? The movie Devil's Advocate. The part when... yeah, when Al Pacino's on it. I'm a fan! That was a good-ass speech. But that's my tag. Check it out.
I'm a phenomenon!
That's me. And then we got KK Mr. Oh! What's up? What we got? What we got, KK? Introduce yourself, man. Who are you?
Yes, I'm Diddy.
Mr. Take that.
I've been hearing that for years.
Look, that's the first thing I think. It's your aura. We've always talked about this shit. And also we have in front of me, or catacorner, diagonal, whatever you want to call it, Adrian Rivers, not Rivera, Mr. Adrian Rivers. What's going on, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being here. We're good. No, it's crazy because we were supposed to call you today and have you on the show, but of course, due to our technical difficulties and trying to figure shit out for 2 hours, found out you live about 10 minutes away.
Yeah, that was surprising. I thought you were still in Dallas for some reason, and so when you were like, "Where are you at?" and I'm like, "Over here," and you're like, "Oh, I'm here." I'm like, "That's like 10 minutes from me."
Bring your ass on over here. Yeah. Bring that ass here, boy. But yeah, once again, thanks for coming out here. As I was telling, my other hosts, we always have conversations on Facebook. We don't always disagree. We
disagree about the details sometimes. We generally have the same stance.
Yes.
But how to get there and some of the more subtleties we can disagree.
We can disagree on, but it's always good conversation, and it's
You
always very open.
Malcolm E. Martin, right?
I think we're probably both a little bit Malcolm, to be honest with you. We just kind of disagree.
You Malcolm?
You
seem
real
laid back and quiet.
Associated me with Martin.
This motherfucker be on. Wow.
Yeah,
I catch flack for calling Martin a sellout.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a whole nother conversation. And then also we have Mrs. Bree.
I, the great and powerful.
That is our black Oz on the behind the scenes. What's going on, Bree?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
She sounded like, hey.
Don't be jealous.
How's your weekend, man? How's your week?
My week was great.
What'd you do?
Work.
So it was great
Make some
because you
money.
work. That's always good. That is always
Sorry?
good.
That was a great week.
It was.
There's nothing wrong with making
I
money,
work.
right?
No, not the money part, just the work.
The work. That doesn't sound too good, right?
I like to be back in the office now. I was home for a little bit, and now I'm glad to be back at work.
Well, Brianna, you work in the aviation field, and
I do.
It's crazy. So we're talking, right? And we're texting back and forth, and we were like, what are y'all doing? She's like, I'm doing this. And I was like, I'm about to, whatever. KK was at work. Brianna was like, yeah, I'm going to go in the air.
I said I'm going to go play in the air.
I'm going to go play in the air. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You're going to play in the air. Oh, I'm just going to take a flight. So she gets in with pilots.
The joy of working in aviation for the past 15 years, I get to go fly for free.
I stand corrected. That does sound great.
See?
So that's what she did. And KK, how about yourself? I didn't mean to,
No, same old. My story the same, man. I work and take care of these kids.
That's about it, right?
That's it. That's all I got.
It's funny. Everyone asks.
That's life.
That's life. That's
my
all
new
we
life.
do.
Yeah.
Everyone asks as adults, like, what do you do? What's going on? It's like,
Ask
man.
me in 7 years. That last one to be at the house in 7 years. It might be a different answer for your ass.
Walking around that bitch, just hanging out thing, just eating Kool-Aid and drinking Kool-Aid and whatever you want to do, right?
That's me.
That's what's up. But
you?
Myself, I don't know. I didn't do anything. Same shit with you. I have, kids. I didn't have my kids this week, so it was a lot of free time. So I got a lot of things around the house done. Cleaning up. That's kind of what you do as an adult. You clock off at work and you go home and you clock back in and do that shit. As you saw, I had a pile of dishes that have been sitting there for 2 days, so I haven't done that. But we have been getting a lot of things together for you guys that are watching. We're making this show better. We're making it so you can have fun with it and entertain and listen to it. Do it again.
Go us.
Yes. That's for you guys. Thank you. So we're gonna try to make it kind of just a real ass fucking show. But once again, thank y'all for watching. This is our 17th episode. We have a lot to talk about. It's gonna be more of an open conversation format. Normally, our other host Didi, She is normally here. She couldn't make it this week. She had some prior engagements, some birthday parties, and some family things to handle. So again, we're wishing Dee Dee well. She will be back next week, so her and KK can talk shit. She'll be back, goddamn. And of course, her and KK gonna ride each other like a motherfucker. Pause? No, it's not pause, but not like that.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all. Didi, you won't be riding nothing over here, Didi.
But anyway, so she'll be back. But so what's been going on this week? I mean, this is, and I don't want to drag this into the mud. Last week we had a show about George Floyd, and then everything that led up to George Floyd. And it wasn't just about George Floyd. Again, he is a poster child, as I said, for what we've been going through for years. We all know this. Nothing's new. And then we kind of talked about, the Breonna Taylor, the Ahmaud Arbery, the things that led up to it. And then that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, to say, right? And then we also spoke about the following week, 7-8 days, the protests, the things that have been going on worldwide. And it's crazy. So they're not just protesting here. Like, these protests are in other countries.
Yeah, worldwide.
Like, how crazy is that to you, Adrian?
That is a little bit surprising, considering that like you said, this is something that's been ongoing.
Yeah.
We've seen it for decades upon decades at this point. So to see it go worldwide, on the one hand, it's surprising, but then when you think about how far technology has come, so that we see it everywhere, because now I have friends, I have people sending me friend requests from London, Saudi Arabia, all over the world. So they're going to see this in a much more immediate way than when they used to just have to wait to see if the news media outlets over there reported what was going on here. So while surprising, you can see why.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of a reflection of us. Like, we're fucking up. Like, you've seen a lot of different bad things going in other countries. The Egyptian deal that went on 3-4 years ago. And then you have,
like 7 or 8 years ago.
was it? It was a while ago. It was
Arab Spring, right?
Yeah, it was a while ago. And then you have other just things around the country. We had Libya? That was pretty big. But it's crazy to where everyone is joining in on America's something as simple as racism. Like, racism isn't a new thing, right? As Will Smith says, I keep on quoting, and I don't know if he came up with the quote, but he stated, racism isn't new, it's just being recorded. So it's not a new thing. Every country goes through racism. But it's crazy that every country is backing or just on board with the American situation. Like, how much worse is it here than anywhere else? Or is it?
Well, the common phrase is what? First world problems, right? That's the joke we all make whenever we got shit going on here in America, right? It's always first world problems. Because as you saw, and like you mentioned, you always see these types of situations being handled worldwide because they go through their own severe oppression. Ours, not to take away from it, but ours has been generally more disguised because we are a first world nation, so to speak. We enjoy the amenities of life in a different way, and the crazy shit about that is that, stations like Fox News will talk about having a microwave as if it's a luxury.
Yeah.
Or having a refrigerator as a luxury.
Air conditioned shit like that.
And it's on some level true, because if you compare us to other countries, there is this thing called relative poverty. So while we have it better, we still face obvious levels of oppression as black people here in this country. Just they got their own shit, and comparatively, it's worse, and they have to deal with that. And so now to see us finally realizing, they go through it too, and see how it manifests.
Yeah. It's funny to me. It's not funny, haha, but it's like it's funny. We're in a bad state, and we talked about this. We're supposed, so this whole invite started off of me commenting on a Facebook Live I did by myself, and I reached out to you. I tagged you in it because I knew you're gonna tell me what you feel about it, right? And then once again, we sit on two opposite sides of the situation, right? So it started off with, and I don't know if you saw this shit, KK. It started off with, I was talking about the George Floyd trial. We're protesting, right? Busting, breaking shit, stealing shit out of Chick-fil-A trucks, all kinds of shit, right? Hey, hold on. So, no, hold on. So I'm gonna get back to that. So I'm gonna get back to that. So, with everything that's going on, KK was mentioning July 7th is gonna be the
like a blackout day or something. So you supposed to not participate in any spending of
anything, not
anything,
black, white, whatever. You heard of that, right?
I've seen various.
So I work for a bread company. I deliver to Chick-fil-A, but we do like schools, Chick-fil-A, prisons, everything in Texas. So basically, I got a message saying, "Man, fuck that! Don't give Chick-fil-A none of their bread that day." I'm like, "Whoa, player, got a fucking family to feed." Yeah, like I'm not finna not deliver bread because it happened to me. You know, like
I had a flat tire.
Yeah.
On the side of the road.
And we got a new applicant to drop that shit off.
Let them dudes missing. If a Chick-fil-A, let's say they got 5 stacks of bread in there, they down to 3. And where you at? Like I'm low. I walk in like you could have used this shit for 2 days. Like
Nah, yeah.
yeah, I'm not.
They need.
I'm
extra
not doing
shit.
that shit, y'all.
No, so don't do that. I mean, how do you feel about that? About Bob Black, that blackout day?
I think, personally, I think it's a weak sentiment.
It's a what?
It's weak. It's weak.
Why?
One, if you look at the boycotts that were successful, they lasted well over a year.
Uh-huh.
The most notorious and famous one, the Montgomery bus boycott.
Okay.
Yeah.
That lasted well over a year. It wasn't something they just did for a day or
Hit their
even a
pockets
week.
hard.
It was a year and a
You
half.
got to hit their pockets hard. But I think most importantly, what people tend to forget about boycotts is that you have to have a contingency plan for it. Because obviously people still need to get around. So you had to have people that started running what is essentially an Uber service back then.
Okay.
Because people still had to get places.
Well, they had the black bus they started back then that they blew the fuck up basically.
Right. But the thing is, you have to have a backup for whatever you're boycotting. People are still going to need food. You can't boycott H-E-B, Walmart if you don't have a secondary source to get the food.
That makes sense.
That's something that people forget about organizing an effective boycott. Part 2 of that is that I feel like it's a weak gesture right now because we're coming off of COVID, which shows people you don't need a lot of shit.
Uh-huh.
Y'all survived for what, 2, almost 3 months without a lot of the bullshit that y'all love to go spend your money on, and you brought the economy to its knees. So what the fuck is a day gonna do coming off the heels of that? So that's why I think it's weak.
You are so dope. I mean, you were so dope.
That makes sense. That
This
actually,
motherfucker with his new toy, man.
hey, I'm gonna have fun with this, goddammit. No, that actually makes a lot of sense because just like you said, what people are gonna do is they're gonna overspend the day before and then overspend again the day after. So the money that you missed, in that one day, I mean, again, like you said, it's gonna balance off. So it's like, how are we gonna hit our pockets in the long run? Right. Who are we gonna shop and buy stuff from? Because we need goods. We can't live life without goods and the normal staples that we need. So, damn, that shit kind of makes me feel like It's
just without a contingency plan, without backup, without planning to sustain it long term. It's just it's symbolic. It's no different than everybody else criticizing that dumbass Black Lives Matter shit painted on the street in DC. It's performative. Yeah, it makes a cool statement for the fucking news articles, but what
you
does
don't
it
like that
actually
either?
do? Why would I? It's performative.
But it's
I thought that shit was dope.
I thought that shit was dope as fuck.
As far as trolling Donald Trump, it's funny because it's the street leading up to the White House.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, it's one of those empty gestures that just makes people feel good. And me, the way I am, I get it. We need to feel good because we have to remember our humanity and what the fuck we're even fighting for. So I get that, but at the same time, people tend to get caught up in the symbolism and those little bullshit things and forget the whole big picture of what we're actually fighting for.
That makes sense. That's kind of how I felt about the rioting and the protesting. I don't mind the rioting to a certain extent. I think the police station, they should have burnt that bitch down. That shit should have went. That's one thing that should have went.
And that sent a powerful message.
That sent a really good message. The motherfuckers got out and let us burn that bitch up. So that should have been burnt up. They could even went to the point of City Hall and burning their City Hall up. They could have did that shit.
I heard in Nashville, they did burn down City Hall and was it a courtroom?
I'm talking about Minneapolis.
Well, no, I'm just saying
in other places.
All over the country, they were hitting actual institutions that symbolize, systemic problems. So
But I don't think they should have did it. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee, so I can't say they shouldn't have did it in Tennessee. In Minneapolis, they definitely should have did it in Minneapolis. And around the world, like it's crazy. Like San Antonio, we had because we're broadcasting the show here in San Antonio, Texas. So we had people rioting and protesting in San Antonio, we went to River Center and kicked down doors, bash shit. And like, why? Like we have problems here in San Antonio. We don't have those problems that other places have, overly. And I've been in not as much as some, so I can't sit here and say I've interacted with the laws a lot out here, but we don't.
So that's been actually a point of contention that people have been fighting for. The reason it seems like we don't is because the SAPD, there's stipulations in their contract with the city that allows them to erase police officers' records every time a new contract comes to terms with city council and the police department.
That's the legal shit you said you were reading earlier before we came. Okay.
So the police department works as a union, basically. They call it an association, but it's a union.
What's the backstory of it, so we can kind of catch up? 'Cause I guess you said you're pulling a bunch of records. What is that story? What is all that?
So
for?
let's say that an officer has X amount of complaints and different disciplinary issues going on with him, the way that this guy who killed George Floyd did. Because, it turned out he had like 16, 17 different disciplinary issues.
The white cop.
Right.
Yes.
On his record.
Wasn't Derek, whatever?
Derek Chauvin, I think.
Yeah.
So it shows a pattern of harassment and brutality.
Okay.
So SAPD, they have provisions that every time their contract with the city is renewed, an officer's record is wiped.
Clean.
Wow.
So how many years is the contract?
It's usually every 4 to 5 years, I think.
Oh,
okay.
Shit. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which means, how the fuck do you keep a cop accountable if they keep wiping their record?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So that combined with, I think there were statistics on how many people die in custody. So while you may not see it on film the way you saw George Floyd, somehow people who were in custody magically die. So we have a lot of issues, but the corruption in the police force makes it very difficult to track the way it can be tracked in a lot of other cities who don't do shit like that.
Huh.
They got a cold ass union rep.
Yeah, dope as shit, right?
That motherfucking union rep doing his job.
So then,
or her job.
So then, going back to what? So there is more to be seen with the San Antonio police force.
Right. Absolutely.
I've experienced a lot of shit with the San Antonio police department. Not a lot, but I've had my fair share, like anyone else has, a black male. You almost got killed by San Antonio.
All these other small, ignorant ass police.
So where were you at when you had your run in? When you had the gun pulled on you?
That was SAPD, but they had a reason to do that, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, I understood the whole.
It wasn't me. I wasn't even in the car. It wasn't me. But it was a mistaken identity thing. But
but a legit mistake.
Yeah, it was a legit mistake.
See, my situation was in Selma.
Them the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have had a couple of run-ins with Selma. They're fucking horrible as shit. And you live out in that area. Selma, Cibolo, Converse, all that shit, right?
All of them.
Live Oak is shitty.
All of them are.
Live Oak is
all
horrible.
of them are, man.
But San Antonio, like, I've had the most leniency with cops here in San Antonio. With it being such a big city, they don't want to deal with the bullshit. They don't have time to deal with the little things. You don't have
depends on their mood. Depends on the time of the month.
Well, it's also me. I'm not speaking for every nigga, white, black, Mexican that has ever gotten pulled over. I'm not speaking for yourself. So I can only speak on that. Yeah. But have you had any kind of crazy run-ins or?
Countless. Like, people don't understand this about me. Like,
what are you doing in life? What are you doing with your life?
Sometimes I will say simple shit.
Okay.
Simple shit. But that's the funny thing, is that a lot of my very minor traffic stops, because my tag is expired or a tail light is out, something like that, has often escalated into some really stupid shit with these.
How? See, all those situations are like, here's a ticket, go to the courthouse, you do it within 10 days.
It should be, but that's the problem. That's what we're talking about, is that for some fucking reason, something that should take 5 minutes, write me my fucking ticket and I'm on my way. Next thing we know, I'm out of my fucking car. I'm telling them, no, you can't fucking search it. Why do you need to search it? This is for a taillight. Write me my ticket and let me be on my way. What are you doing? And then it's a whole fucking other thing. So that's why I say I won't say it comes out of nowhere, because clearly if my taillight is out, I need to get that handled.
Yes.
If my tag is expired, I need to get that handled. But how it escalates into other things so often is stupid. Like I've told people, I'm like, no, I can easily say I've probably been in handcuffs upwards of 30 plus times. Now, my record
How
would
old
never
are
show
you?
you that. My record would never show you that.
30
What my
times?
record, exactly. What my actual record would show you is that when I was fucking 17 years old, I have a trespass issue that was dismissed, or I ended up getting it expunged. I had to do probation. It was some stupid shit. And even that trespassing issue is ridiculous in itself because that happened on my high school campus. That's how fucking crazy this shit was.
What are you doing?
You really want to hear that because this is how fun this story gets.
What are you doing?
I went up there to withdraw myself after I had a racial situation happen with a teacher that led to me getting suspended.
In the city, or
This was Roosevelt High School. Had a racial issue. I got suspended because I mouthed off. Me and the teacher went back and forth. Shit they were saying, I don't deal with racism.
Yeah.
Fired off.
Okay.
Got suspended.
At Roosevelt?
Went up the next day. I'm gonna withdraw myself because if y'all play these racial games, fuck this. I'm withdrawing. You're not supposed to be up here. You were suspended. And at the time, SAPD had a substation at the school.
Yeah.
So SAPD comes out there and they're fucking with me about this. And I'm arguing with them. They call actual SAPD. SAPD rolls up. They call Windcrest. They call Bear County for some reason. This whole thing has been going on because I'm arguing with them, telling them, you can't arrest me for being on campus if I'm trying to withdraw myself from the school so that I'm not a part of the school. Their argument was, you need to have a legal guardian here with you. And I said, no, I don't. I'm responsible for myself. I'm a legal adult. And they said, no, you're not. I said, really? If you arrest me, where are you taking me? They kind of paused. I was like, are you taking me to juvenile?
Juvie, yeah.
I was like, you're not, right? Which means I'm an adult.
Oh, they wouldn't take you to juvie.
No, I'm 17. So I said, if you're
So
gonna,
it's not 18. Just
it was 17.
okay.
So I said, so if you're gonna process me as an adult, then that means I'm a legal guardian for myself. I'm responsible for myself, so I can withdraw myself. They didn't know what the fuck to do, and this is just goes to show the ignorance of cops. They don't know what they're fucking doing. They don't know the law. They don't know the procedures. They don't know shit, but they always want to enforce some shit. I'm like, you can't enforce what you don't fucking know.
That's crazy.
So that's why they called all these other police. They called Bear County. They called Windcrest because they're trying to make
Trying to
sense
figure
of it.
out what the fuck
Because
they need to
they're
do.
like, duh, we don't know. So, long story, we're out there for probably 30, 45 minutes arguing back and forth, and I'm explaining my case, like, why are y'all fucking with me? Finally seems like it's about to die down. They tell me, because one of the cops is finally understands the light bulb goes off. It's like, shit, he kind of has a fucking point.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Like, all right. Reach my hand out. Can I have my wallet? Boom. Grab me. Boom. Slammed up against the car. Your instincts as a person, when you get manhandled,
Fight
what
back.
do you do? So I donkey kick backwards, one of these motherfuckers. Now they all jump on me. So now I'm hog-tied because they didn't even just handcuff me. They got my fucking feet, hands behind my back. I'm laying there on my chest, facing the fucking cement in front of my fucking high school.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you get with Drew?
No,
Yeah.
I'm fucking getting
No, but I
processed.
mean, but week later, did you
Yeah,
have to go back to
I
school?
ended up withdrawing. My parents ended up getting me withdrawn.
Why don't
So
you?
you
why-
did
why-
need your parents. So you did need your parents.
I did apparently end up. Well, I didn't need my parents as much as
You don't
when-
think you would need your parents for that? I would think
At
that
the-
you would need your parents for that.
I shouldn't have needed them. Now, what ended up happening? Yeah, they got involved as a result, but I shouldn't have needed them. So, long story short, either way, I was no longer a part of Roosevelt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's that story. That was and that's what's on my record to this day. But like I said, yeah, I've been in handcuffs easily over 30 times, but you don't see that on my record because I didn't actually do shit all those other times.
Yeah, you just got
Just fucked with.
cuffed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, okay, so situations like that you went in. Everyone's listening to the conversation, the situation you went in. Two questions. One, do you think there's anything differently, the normal question they ask, that you could have done to make it go smoother? Two, do you think you should have to have done anything differently to make it go smoother?
So, first question, clearly I could have not went up to the school.
Makes sense.
If I never go up there, it's never an issue. I deal with my suspension, game over, go back to school.
Withdrawal after 3 days.
Withdrawal after 3 days, whatever the fuck it was. Right. So, yes, you can do something different. But I didn't. I'm there. Now that I'm engaging, what can I do different?
Don't get kicked, motherfucker.
You don't kick.
That's what set
but-
them off, right?
Well,
Well, mind you, they're arguing, I guess, for quite some time.
This is 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're arguing, and then by the time the donkey kick, they're ready to
they were ready to, because they didn't like that this young asshole out here who's making us look stupid because we don't know what to do. He's making legitimate points. Fucking 17-year-old kid, and we don't know how to combat what he's saying. So I'm sure they all feel stupid as shit. Yeah, they should. They are.
So you feel, of course, there's always hindsight 2020. There's always a better way to handle the situation. So we can say that, which is always easy to say it after the fact.
Yeah, hindsight is perfect because Ahmaud Arbery could have not jogged. Breonna Taylor could have not been sleeping. If you know the past, you can always avoid a situation. But we don't have a fucking time machine. We just got to deal with circumstances as they exist.
Now, do you think that it is fair to say that you should have done something different?
No.
Do you think that, looking back, because there's been times where I've been arrested by the cops. The one time in Selma. There is nothing that I could have done to prevent that. I didn't got...
You could have not been there.
No. But there is nothing that I could not have done because they weren't even there for me. I was in a passenger seat with a guy who got pulled over for not having his front license plate on, which is a legitimate reason to pull someone over. Do you pull people over for that? No. But all you need is a reason to pull someone over. So is that a legitimate reason? I will say yes. Let's just... For the sake of argument, let's just say yes, okay? So we got pulled over. He had a warrant for an unpaid parking ticket. Nothing violent. Just he had a parking ticket, didn't pay. They took him to jail, which they're supposed to. I get that. I had nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, let me take his car. He's going to release his car to me. We're going to leave. Something simple, right? Mm-hmm. It didn't go down like that. So he's like, no, I'm not going to take his car. We're going to impound his car. If you want to, you can get into the back of the car and we'll drop you off at Jim's. Motherfucker, Jim's is nowhere near my house. Like, you're not doing me any favor, for one. Two, I'm not getting into the back of your car. It's not going to happen. So they released me because they had nothing on me. They checked my license, my driver's license, this, that, and the third. So it was cold that night. So I had my hands, I had like basketball shorts on. So I didn't have pockets, so I had my hands in the front of my pants. Get your hands out, my fault. I had tights on the bottom. I literally pulled my pants down to my knees to show them I had nothing on me. I'm good. Lift up my shirt and everything. We're good, guys. Right? So then I'm on the phone walking off, have one hand on my phone, talking to the mother of my kids at the time. She's currently, anyway, we were dating. And I was talking to her, and I walked off with my hand in my pants. I'm close. I'm walking off, and they jumped on my back. We told you to get your hands out your pocket. Threw me on the ground. Like, in a situation like that, there is nothing that I could have done better. Not even not put my hands in my pants.
You could have just kept walking all the way down the street like this.
But again,
so but if you get released, why the fuck can't you put your hands in your pocket no more?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. But there is technically, if you play that game, there's always going to be something you could do, but you shouldn't have had to because exactly if you were already released. The fuck is the point of still telling you? But I
was never detained. That's the thing. They never detained me. They had no reason to. They had a reason to detain the driver. Mm-hmm. He was detained. He was arrested. Right. Understood. I was never detained. So and so when I went to jail, magistrate, they took me to Selma, took me to Frio. Talked to the judge. She looked at my shit and said, "What are you here for?" I told her the situation. She said, "We're gonna get you out in 30 minutes," and let me go. Dropped everything. It was nothing. Mm. Because it was bullshit. Yeah. But the funny thing is when I'm going from Selma to Frio, and this is a whole nother conversation, but when I was going to Selma, from Selma to Frio, which Frio in San Antonio is where the magistrate's office is. That's where we go and they booked or whatever, find out what's gonna happen to you. The judge, the driver was like, man, he went to Madison actually. Coincidence. I know who he was. He was younger, of course, but he was like, "Man, I apologize. He's a dick, and he always does shit like this." That's what he said to me, as I'm going down, as he's driving me to Frio, and I said not two words in the whole cop ride because I don't want to say nothing to incriminate myself. So I just sat there and took my ride. They said, "Hey, can we? You need to wipe this shit off?" No, leave all this shit on my face until I get out of this bitch. We're gonna just go down. But the thing is, as I think about it, like I don't think there's nothing that I could have done better. Right? And again, you're right. I could have walked off, my hands up on my phone, whatever. But in a situation like that, I've been in situations where I'm like, man, maybe I should have mouthed off to the guy. Maybe I did escalate the situation. You know, should I have to worry about escalating this situation? No, I shouldn't have to worry about it. But there are times where it's like, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have called him a bitch. You know, and this wasn't one of those situations, right? So that's why I ask, is there something that you could have done better? Hindsight 2020. In my situation, no. In your situation, I think there's a couple of things you could have done better.
Yeah, there's a ton of things I could have done
But-
better. Because like in that 30-minute conversation, I'm not getting into everything I said. I fucking was going off on them.
Exactly.
'Cause I know how damn dumb they were.
But then as you're going through it and you think about it, like, well, should I have to bite my words? Like, shouldn't I be able to feel like I can talk to them? Maybe not as disrespectful as we've been to authorities, which we've all have. But then, like, you know, and it makes me lead to believe, like, should we have to bite our tongue?
We shouldn't, but we do.
Yeah.
You know?
But we should.
You have to.
I
I
think
mean, there's videos on YouTube. You could just click like white people talking to police. Like, man, I get killed for
yeah, right?
the shit that they say to police. Remember when I told you it was a lady going 100, like in a 40.
Uh-huh.
She, what the fuck you pulled me over for, bitch? I mean, obviously you know why you got pulled over.
Yeah.
Come out to call, you better shut my motherfucking door. I was sitting there like, yes sir. No, we got to be yes sir, no sir,
Right.
no man.
Right.
Just to get a ticket, you know what I'm saying?
Hands
Like,
on the dashboard,
these
right?
motherfuckers talk like fuck you and what you stand for. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell.
Right.
We on your
Nobody
regular
else
shit.
skin color can do that shit.
And that's why we keep telling people policing has to do with racism directly, because that response to the way we talk to them versus
Yeah.
the way they talk to them is a direct result of them being like, who the fuck is your black ass to be talking to me like
Yeah,
this?
that's
I'm
exactly
in a
what it
position
is.
of authority. They recognize white people's inherent authority in this country. So that's why that interaction, it's a role reversal.
Yeah.
For them, they know when they're talking to a white citizen of this country,
Uh-huh.
they're the authoritative figure.
Because we get mad
They're
too.
paying their taxpaying
Like,
dollars.
right.
White
They're
people are not
bosses.
the only people
Right.
get mad for getting pulled over. I got pulled over one time because I didn't have a light on my license plate. And I like, can you see the motherfucker? He was like, you need a, I like, do what you gotta do, man. Like, I was just so pissed. Like, man, this what the fuck you stopped me for?
Yeah,
People out here
it's
robbing
frustrating.
and killing, and you worried about a light on my fucking
Motherfucking
license plate
light.
that you still can see my license plate. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's just the fucking worst, man.
No, I mean, I got him pulled over in Converse, driving at nighttime, and we're not going to make this a whole show of our, you know, because
Yeah.
that'd be a whole nother thing. But I was driving in Converse, my headlight went out, and so I was driving with my my hazard lights on because I couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
So my hazard lights, and you know, Converse is going down 78 from 1604 all the way to that Gold. It's dark as shit on that street. So I had my hazard lights on so I can actually see something, try and get to a place to pull over because I'm trying to hurry up and get home. The officer stopped me and pulled me over because I had no headlights. I get it. Wrote me a ticket and then fucking left. And the reason why I wrote me a ticket because I'm driving unsafely down the street. Motherfucker, you couldn't lead me to a place to where there's lights to where I
But
can
you
get home.
still finna be driving.
I'm
safe.
still, you let me go to
It's
drive
like-
and leave. Like, nigga, you couldn't help me get to a safe destination. You couldn't follow me home to make sure nothing happens with your lights behind me so I can see in front of me.
Where's
Like,
that protect and serve come into play?
you know what I mean? And then it's like, you know, I get it. I'm, you know, other cars can't see me. Thus, the reason why I turned my hazard lights on, so as they're driving, they can see that, hey, there's a car on the road. I'm not just driving
What's going on?
blind.
You have an issue. Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm like, you couldn't help me, my nigga? Like, you couldn't, you know, you wrote me a ticket, and I had to pay that ticket. I fought that ticket. And the judge was like, I was saying what I had to say. He said, you almost said what you needed to say. I don't know legalities. I fought the courts, literally. I fought the courts probably 7 times in my life. I mean, I was on food stamps back in the day. I fought them for that shit because they tried to make me pay shit back, and they lost. So I've won probably 5 or 6 of my cases against the state by myself. I got pulled over in Almost Park. That's in it. We're not going over it. But I see what you're saying when you're talking about it's not San Antonio PD.
Yeah, it's
these
all these small motherfuckers, man.
It's these other
Hey,
motherfuckers.
What's the one off Fredericksburg with the them motherfuckers?
Castle Hills?
Dog. Oh my god.
God, don't. Hey.
No. Balconies height.
Oh, yeah, balconies and Castle Hill's bad too,
Castle
though.
Hills and what's the other?
Straight hoes.
All those
man.
motherfuckers. But that's what it is. But it's crazy because it's like I would hope if I was a young white lady, if I was a young black lady with my titties hanging out, I'm pretty sure he would have assisted me down the road to help me get to a safe place. He has my address on my license, so he knows I don't live far from where I'm stopped at, right?
Yeah.
But it's just crazy how shit like that happens. And I think, like, is there something I could have done better? Should I have done something better? Should I have said something different?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have no headlights, motherfucker.
I mean, what else could I have done? Stop my car and
stay
walk.
where you was at.
I mean, it's just so that's the shit I always talk about. You know, there's nothing that a lot of us could have done better. And there's some situations where we could have done something better, but it's not always like that. So it's kind of interesting. Now, to go back to the 20 minutes ago, before we got into this, we kind of got off track, but good talk. Not fuck the police. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. That was misspoke.
Unless somebody running up in my house, I need you.
Police!
Even then, come collect the body after.
The job is done. Just come pick this motherfucker, but I gotta go back to bed. Yeah. So we're talking about the George Floyd case, right? And I made this public, and I thought it was we were happy because the other three have gotten arrested. Now, segue side note, I personally, and I may get a big ass backlash for saying this, I kind of feel bad for that new guy that was in training. That was his 4th day. For this situation, did you hear about him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you heard about it. So out of the
why do you feel bad? I want to hear this.
Just because it's 4 days?
Listen, so he was 4 days into his job. He was one of the 2 guys that was laying on the cops on George Floyd's back, legs and shit, right? He wasn't on the neck. He was on his knees or his chest, right?
Other part of his body.
Other part of his body, right? And he is basically following the orders of his superior, so to speak, and he gets himself into some fuck shit. We don't know if he's racist. The other guy, we understand he's a fucking cack-ass crack, as they say, right? We understand that. But this guy's literally new to the job, not understanding shit 100%. Went behind the ears. Was he wrong? Yes, he was completely wrong. No, he
That's
was
exactly what it was.
Yeah, no. He was completely wrong.
What did Ethan Hawke's character do?
Yeah.
The right thing. And it's not that fucking hard to do the right thing. So I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
if you're passive, you're just as fucking guilty. I don't give a shit if it's your 1st day or your 100th day. You know what the fuck is wrong. Bottom line.
Agreed. See, this is the disagreements and agreements that we have. Like, I totally agree with you. I just fuck, what if he was really a good dude? You know, but again, it's
How are you
like
a good dude if you're watching and helping somebody be murdered?
But that's the thing. You're not expecting the murder to happen, which is, again, I'm not saying, so everybody, listen, wherever camera I'm on, I am not saying that he's right 1%. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be in trouble. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be an issue.
No, but you're arguing his goodness.
No, I'm saying I feel bad. Because if I was in that situation, you know, trying to be a good cop and follow instructions and kind of not understanding. I'm new to the job, so I don't understand where is that line that you can and can't cross. You know what I mean? No, again, no sympathy. I just feel bad as I look at it.
That's what sympathy means.
Well, I'm not going out picketing for his ass.
No,
let him free,
but
you know?
You can't say you feel bad for somebody and then say no sympathy.
Well, I feel bad for him because I look at it as if it was me, if I was in his shoes. I hope, you know, does that make... I'm contradicting the shit out of myself. I know that. No, I get it. But it's like, you know, you feel bad for the position that he was in. You know what I mean? Because I look at myself and what I've done.
I think it's a shitty position to find yourself in.
I would have done the same thing he did. As long as you do what
you got to fucking do, you would have just went along with it?
I mean...
I don't need...
Not the whole time. No, not the whole time.
This is wrong. It doesn't matter what job I'm working in. Whether I'm a taxi driver, a fucking McDonald's fry cook. Like, if I see some fucked up shit, I don't need to consult my manual, you know, hold on, is this okay to... There's some shit that just, this is fucked up.
What'd you done? What'd you have done, KK? Like you're subduing a guy.
Like I'm sitting as a cop or just if
as a cop. As a cop, the guy is resisting a little bit, which, like you said, you get handcuffs, you're gonna do what you do. So they got him on the ground, and one cop is like they normally. When I was subdued by the cops, I had 3 cops on myself, right? I had a knee in my head, I got scars and shit to prove it. But so, you know, I wasn't going down easily. So I get all that shit, right? But what I'm saying, if you're a cop in training and you see this altercation happening and you're going to help your fellow officer, which is your partner, and you kind of get on his back and, you know, you're not on the guy's neck, but you're trying to hold him down from moving around, and what would you do?
I don't know.
I mean, of course, maybe not for the whole 8 minutes. Maybe you'd have said something like, hey, guys, do you think he's not moving?
Yeah.
But you would have jumped on his back and subdued him and kind of tried to get him from moving. But it's that fine line, bro, because when you're doing it, you don't think that the guy, It's gonna die. You think that you're and hold on
and they don't show everything. That was a big ass dude too. So
no, he was a huge dude.
He was a huge motherfucker, and I'm assuming that's why it took all of them to sit on him like that.
Exactly. But then we're talking about it now. Again, no sympathy. Not once are we saying that he should have been killed or this shit should have happened for the 9 minutes and 17 seconds or however long it was. And we were also talking about it, and we disagreed on this. But I like the reason why you disagreed on if George Floyd gets out. I kind of like your take.
Sure.
It's fun. Yeah. I said that. I did that shit again on the post. I was like, George Floyd is gonna get out of jail, and he's like, what the fuck? How is he gonna get out of jail? But with the Derek is his name, right?
I think it's Derek
Chauvin,
Chauvin.
some. But anyway, old buddy is what I'm gonna call him. You like the way if he goes without any guilt, you like that. That would be a good thing. Now it's crazy. The morbid way that you feel about it, it makes fucking sense. I hate that it makes sense, but it does.
What, if he's not charged?
If he's not charged.
No, because what we were talking about is that they raised it from third-degree murder to second-degree murder, which he feels like Chauvin will probably end up getting off because of that.
Second-degree murder involves intent.
Which
he had no intention to kill him.
And I disagree with that, but honestly, because I'm a person who believes in chaos theory, I hope they let him off.
They're going to tear this motherfucking world apart, man.
That's why.
Exactly.
They're going to tear this shit apart.
Fucking exactly.
And I ain't going to miss it this time. I ain't going to, say, look, quick story. One of my restaurants in Austin, like if you're off 35, like right past MLK, it's a little area called Capitol Plaza. There's a Target, a Foot Locker. So I go make my delivery, and they like, I see all these police. I'm like, what happened? They tore that shit apart. I'm looking at her phone. She got a video. These motherfuckers put their shit in bags at Target. Say, you know, people
walked out that hoe,
bagging they shit. I'm looking like, oh my god.
Hold on, this is where in Austin?
Right off 35 when you pass the UT Stadium.
No, you know, gotta. Not only they stole merchandise, they stole bags. You gotta put for bags in Austin, nigga.
Foot Locker, everything. Target. I'm looking at the video.
Like a week ago.
Bruh. Monday. I made the delivery Monday. This shit happened Sunday. Bruh. They walking out of running out of
work the pipe.
Oh, no, what the fuck? They walking out of Target.
So when KK has a habit of talking not into the mic, right? So when KK does not talk into the mic, I made a button for his ass, and this is what it is.
Cradle the balls, stroke the shaft, work the pipe, swallow the gravy. Get it over here, buddy.
Get over here, buddy. Talking to the mic. Go ahead.
This is like talking to the mic.
I like that. My new toy. You said, nigga, just talking to
But yeah, man, I mean, Foot Locker bags, K&G bags, like they didn't just grab their shit. You know how you see all the memes? People holding.
Try to get as much as they
These
can.
motherfuckers had bags like they was in their shop.
Walking like they had receipts and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, go on to quit this motherfucker if you want to.
I think they will. And the reason is because
they can't, man, because
but
why
people have gotten off of less. No. It'll be fucked up. But the thing is, we're happy because we have the other three that are locked up. I get it. We're happy because they jumped up the charge on Derek. I get it. But we need to go for something that can be convictable. Once again, third-degree murder is a fucking great charge. That's good. We need him in jail for at least 3 or 4 years.
The reason people don't want that and they're not satisfied with that is because I think there's a clear line where intent does come into play. Because, like you keep saying, 9 minutes. Think about it. If we were to just sit here silently for even 30 fucking seconds, think about how many thoughts are going to go through your fucking head in 30 seconds time, let alone 9 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't tell me along the way something about killing this man isn't going through this fucking person's head.
Now prove that. That's the hard part. Now you got to prove that. Prove that intent.
Okay, true. But then if that was the case, how often can you really get any first degree or second degree murder? Because I can never read a motherfucker's mind. But there has to be something where you can legitimately say, okay, what is your realistic expectation if I start choking you?
Conversations with other people, having previous altercations with other. I mean, you can show intent.
What was the intent of putting your knee in this man's neck? What was the intent to subdue him? You didn't think he was subdued after 30 seconds? No. You didn't think he was subdued after a minute? No. You didn't think he was subdued after 2 minutes? At some point, something has to go off. You know he's subdued. You can tell he is subdued. So
He's
it's
killed
no longer,
somebody or shot somebody.
Huh?
He's had at least, I don't know what those complaints were, but he has
18,
17
17.
different complaints of either brutality or something. He has a
Over the last five
This is
or
shown-
six,
That's intense,
five or
right?
six years or
pattern
some
of
shit.
behavior.
No.
Right.
But again, like we were talking about with Casey Anthony, they had all this evidence against Casey Anthony, and she had all previous calls to the house and shit that she's done. People testifying how she was a shitty mother. They proved that she was a shitty mother easily. They didn't prove that she killed the kid. Again, like when you talk about second-degree murder, there has to be an intent. Now, I'm not saying that they can't prove intent. The point is you have to convince
difficult.
12 jurors that he did it intentionally.
But I'll tell you this though, I also think 12 jurors at this point in time,
They
don't want to see this
no
motherfucker
part
go
of
up
that
in a
shit.
blade. They're like, don't fuck around with this.
No
Like,
part of that
This
shit.
is one of those rare cases where you're just gonna see that motherfucker, even if they want to go ahead and give him that normal white privilege walk.
It ain't happening.
It ain't happening this time.
It ain't
They're like,
happening.
he's the sacrificial lamb. Like,
But then
we
again-
ain't gonna give it to him.
Nigga, gotta
But
go.
then
You
again-
gotta go.
Yeah, he
But
get
if
tossed
this-
under the
You
bus.
gotta go.
But then it's gonna go if this trial isn't done properly, they're gonna appeal this shit, and he can get off on that alone. So this has to be done properly. If we want it, and you know how that works.
Yeah, I mean-
if we want him to go down, which we do, if we get him for homicide, that's easily. The prison system is gonna handle him in prison. He's. I mean, there's a chance he's
be
not
one of
gonna
them
make it
cats
out.
that's protected by the Aryan Nation or some shit. Like he'll be all right.
But it's gonna be a situation. You know what I mean?
Well, someone says that he has killed before.
He has.
Yes.
Who said that?
This is YouTube. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who this is, but somebody said he has killed. It was an armed stabbing suspect.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Well, then there you go. That shows that. So I mean, you know, it's one of those those situations to where, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't know.
I feel like I said. I see it two ways. One, he's either gonna be that sacrificial lamb where they're like, nah, we're tossing your ass under the bus. You
He
gotta
has
go.
to be, man.
Or if they feel like fucking up, then you pay the consequences, and it does two things. One, like I said, it gives people a reason to light the match to this motherfucker, and two, it continues to reinforce and display the idea that we keep saying your system is fucked up.
I hope I'm wrong. Like I'm saying this because I'm looking at what the fuck.
Yeah,
and I
no,
looked
I
up.
mean it's important to look at each side of it.
I hope I'm wrong. Like I hope I'm wrong. I hope he burns in fucking jail forever for this shit, or at least for a couple of days and someone gets him. Like I hope he dies. I don't want him to serve 30, 40 years in jail. I personally don't.
I want him to serve 40 years in jail as long as somebody's beating that ass every week.
Every motherfucker, he becomes somebody's bitch. He's he's
Death
over there.
for him is the easy way out.
Stroke the shaft.
That's what he's doing in jail.
Work the pipe. Swallow the gravy.
Oh, man, I need a new
Get it over here,
motherfucking
buddy.
voice,
Let's do
man.
this.
Yeah, you find something else say for me. Shit.
I hope he's in jail
We gonna
doing
work
that
on
shit.
some new shit.
let me have my fun. But yeah, so like you're saying, like I 40 years getting the worst days of his fucking life.
Death's too easy. That's an easy way out. Make him suffer.
Well, I hope that death they just I don't know. I just hope he gets his, and I don't want him to get his justice. I want revenge with him. Like, it's not like justice. Like we get our
because
justice.
you got to think, like you said, 17 different issues, at least one other murder.
Yeah.
So right, he deserves more than just justice.
Now imagine if they had our system to where his shit gets wiped every 4 years. Like nobody would know none of
Exactly.
this shit.
Nothing
We would
would
have
know.
known any of that.
It's again. I would bet you on this, but I don't want to bet you on this on this situation because the
Because I showed my prediction earlier.
No,
I'll be-
because no, because the reward would be so catastrophic. I don't want to bet on.
Yeah,
That's kind of
I mean,
morbid. It's
right.
a morbid thing to bet on.
situation to bet on.
But I'm just gonna say I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I've been wrong a lot, and I debate a lot, and I've been wrong several times. I hope this is one of the times that I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But all I'm saying, guys, is as we're petitioning, hoping things get better, fucking proving to 12 jurors of your peers
It don't matter, man. It don't matter
is
what he got to
hard.
prove.
No,
If
it's hard.
this motherfucker get off, it's gonna look like a movie in these streets.
Oh no, and it makes sense. But again,
you got to. He's guilty just because of that alone. You cannot fuck around like that.
no. Again, we know what should
If
happen.
you think people tired now, say
no,
it-
and
it's
that's
gonna
why
be
he
some
hopes he gets
killing.
off.
It's gonna be It's gonna be a lot of shit, man.
Y'all thought the fucking Rodney King riot was big. No, again, that's why he said, and it makes sense.
It's gonna be some unsafe white people around this motherfucker, man.
No, because him getting off is gonna make change. Like if he gets off, shit is changing tomorrow. Like this motherfucker is going bananas, and I get it. So I if we want real change, let this motherfucker get off. But
you'd like to see the system finally work the way it should.
Guarantee you'll see people boarding shit up before the verdict come out.
Convincing 12 people that he did that intentionally. You have to understand that there's a possibility, a pretty good possibility, that he can get off. O.J. Simpson got off. Shit. And that was a fucked up case if you ever watched that. Not saying y'all didn't, but just if you did. That could have went either way. Like, I don't know. But
it was a weird case.
It was very
really weird because it did seem like it should be clear cut, but there were so many things that seemed like out of a bad fucking movie. You've got the racist cop who's the first on the scene, who finds the bloody glove, and I'm like, wait, a bloody glove? Like, what kind of fucking amateur hour is this? Like, look, not that you're a professional murderer, but what kind of
fucking moron?
What kind of dumbass shit? Okay, where can I leave the knife that the cops will find it? Let me go put this glove over here.
Let me get one glove here, one glove. I'm gonna hold on to this other one.
Shit? Yeah, like
no, it was a bad situation. But again, OJ was open and shut, right? Every nigga knew he was gonna go get in jail. Everybody thought. Niggas was surprised when they said he was innocent. Niggas
watching TV like
what the fuck? Yeah. Niggas was surprised as fuck.
Wait,
like that was
a white woman. Yeah, y'all let him.
Exactly. And the thing about OJ is that was like a cultural victory for us. Because that was like big for like I don't think people understand how
it was a fucked up dynamic where people felt like even if he did it, it felt good to finally see the system backfire on them.
Yes, and work for us in our favor. Johnny Carson became an overnight sensation. O.J. Simpson was black again. Goddamn, like we were happy, and then we traded his ass back months later or years later. OJ's alright. He's anyway, but I want to ride with OJ. I really want to be ride with OJ, but he keeps on just doing shit. But this is what that LA ride is going to be. The Rodney King ride is going to be fucking Mickey Mouse, fucking Disneyland compared to what the fuck is going to happen if they find this individual innocent. All right.
Walking around with purge mask on and shit. This finna be ugly, man. This should be ugly out here, man.
So we have a new segment, right? And this is all KK now.
It's all me.
It's all you, KK. I'm gonna let you lead this one.
I'm gonna lead it.
I'm gonna let you bring it in.
You gonna play the clip or what?
Yeah. So it's we thought of some names.
Yeah, we came up with look at this motherfucker.
Look at this motherfucker. So first we have. Who we got first? We have
Drew Brees, probably.
Check it out.
Look at my eyes.
I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. Let me just tell you what I see or what I feel when the national anthem is played and when I look at the flag of the United States. I envision my two grandfathers who fought for this country during World War II, one in the Army and one in the Marine Corps, both risking their lives to protect our country and to try to make our country and this world a better place. So every time I stand with my hand over my heart, looking at that flag and singing the national anthem, that's what I think about. And in many cases, it brings me to tears, thinking about all that has been sacrificed, not just those in the military, but for that matter, those throughout the civil rights movements of the 60s. And everyone and all that has been endured by so many people up until this point. And is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not.
All right, so I'm done listening to this motherfucker.
But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better, and that we are all part of the solution.
So that was the question. So that was his answer, right?
Yeah, and what was the question?
So they asked this little silly ass man. Now that it's come to the forefront, a lot of people expect to see players kneeling during the season. How do you think the NFL will and should respond to this as a leader?
Yeah. So how do you feel about I don't know, hamburgers. Well, you know what? Them dogs over there are pretty cool, and them dogs should be caged. Like, nigga, like, he didn't answer the question for one. He stupid. Like, he didn't answer the question at all. This question was simple. How do you feel after all this stuff's happened, motherfuckers are going to take knees? All right? So how do you think the NFL should and will respond to people taking knees?
That was his answer.
And that was his answer. And all that shit was his answer. Did you see this before? Have you seen this?
I didn't see it. I heard about it. I didn't give a fuck enough about him to watch his bullshit.
I don't get it though. I've been, like I was telling him, I've been to graduations, sports events where they play the anthem. My dad served 20 years in the Army. He was at Desert Storm. I've never been at a game like this thinking about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does your grandfather come into the picture?
That's that overzealous bullshit ass fake patriotism.
Yes.
These motherfuckers like
That's
to
it.
talk about.
Nobody thinks
in
about
order to deflect from an issue. Like, I remember I had this discussion a couple of years ago with a woman in fatigues. This was right around the time it was first starting. And
The
this
kneeling
was a
first
black
started.
woman. Yeah.
Okay.
This was a black woman in fatigues. And for whatever reason, guy at my job brought it up with her. And I'm like, and my ass is salivating. Because these motherfuckers at work don't know what I'm about. So I'm just sitting there like, let's go.
Licking his chops and shit.
And she went off on how she disagrees with it, and gave almost one of these corny ass type speeches. And I just flat out asked her, I'm like, okay, but aren't you fighting for the freedom for him to do this? So how do you disagree with him exercising that freedom? It doesn't make sense. It's a contradiction if you claim that, well, I'm out here sacrificing for the freedom. For what? For selective fucking freedom or freedom? You can't have it both ways. So if it's for freedom, why are you upset at how he's utilizing the freedom you want him to have by fighting for it?
By fighting. The reason why you fucking joined the military.
And furthermore, if that fucking flag symbolized all these things you wanted to, he wouldn't be fucking protesting in the first place.
Now, see, about the flag, and I said this through and through, I give two fucks about that flag, right? And I understand what it represents. And again, these are thoughts of myself, mine only. Fuck America, right? I love Americans, if that makes any sense. Because America, for what it was established, that bitch wasn't for none of us, right? None of us. It was for white guys, deed owners, those guys. America was never built for us. Never was. Nor was it supposed to be. America is what it is today because of Americans that have fought for it. If America was the exact same America that it was when it was first established, this wouldn't be happening. Like, shit has changed. So the Americans, like the person that you talk to and the BDUs, whatever, and everyone else that's in the military that has fought for these changes, and not just the fucking militaries, the fucking Martin Luthers, the Malcolms, the Collins, the Susan B's, like all those other people that have fought for justice, that's who I fucking ride with. You know what I mean? Not this other bullshit. Not just a fucking flag. Because a flag to me means shit.
It's empty. It's symbolic.
It means absolutely nothing. So fuck that flag in a sense.
Yeah,
I love America. I love where I was born. I love where I'm at.
But that's the way they think. They value symbols of shit more than the actual shit, and they prove that time and time again.
I don't think they do.
They do. They lose their fucking mind over a flag if it's burning, but they don't give a shit when people are actually set on fire. And that's the hypocrisy. It's like you care
That makes
more
sense.
about the fucking symbol of something than its actual what it's supposed to be made up of.
But
it's ridiculous.
But what fucking bothers me, this was, you said what, 4 or 5 years ago when Colin
About
kneeled?
4 years, right?
Nigga, why are we still arguing and saying that he kneeled is disrespecting the flag? Like, why is this still a fucking conversation with us to where you think that him kneeling is for the flag? Even when it was going on, he specifically said word by word to fucking word, verbatim, that he is kneeling for a social injustice for people of color. Persons of color is what he said, actually.
And he was
not even black people.
He was sitting on
Persons.
the bench.
That's what I was about to say. If you really want to get real about it, it didn't even start with him kneeling.
Yeah, he was sitting on the bench.
He knelt as a fucking concession, which
And who?
pissed me the fuck off.
No. And who gave him that concession?
A Marine, right?
It was a
Yeah.
Marine or some
fucking
former
Marine.
Right.
Said it was disrespectful to sit on the bench. You
So
know?
he said,
So here, let's
I'll
meet
take a
in
knee.
the middle
Yeah.
and take a knee.
Yeah.
Which I hated because I'm like, taking a knee,
don't compromise yourself, black man.
One, don't compromise yourself, but two, in such a way, because I always think of that, I'm a comic book person, so I always remember kneel before Zod, son of Jarrell. So I'm like, this motherfucker made you kneel before him. Like, that shit just burned me the fuck up
I never
inside.
looked at it like
Yeah,
that.
I know, right? Yeah,
It's
nigga.
a form of submission.
It actually is when you think about it, but it's also a sign of respect. When someone gets hurt, you kneel on the. So, again,
multiple ways to think about it, but I think in a situation,
he's the morbid guy, mind you. He's the.
Well, because I mean, in that context,
no, I totally get what you're saying.
A compromise. That's why I'm going to view it as submission versus the form of respect. So that's why.
No, yeah, I get it.
He gave in to somebody else. So.
And that was the exact opposite of what the whole protest was about. So no, I totally get it. But again, like you said, this wasn't even his idea to kneel.
Right. So
kneeling came from the military. Gave him this idea
from a military
and the guy was military Marines. He used to play in the NFL, and that was his connection with Colin or with NFL. And they came with this idea. But my whole point is, why are we still arguing or debating or having the speech that he is disrespecting the flag when that was never the fucking point to begin with?
Same reason we're still arguing on what all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter means.
And I need to get that call come through.
Motherfuckers just don't want to get the shit. It's not even, I'm like, don't tell me you don't understand. You understand. You don't want to.
So for this is why we're going to look at that motherfucker, because he has no fucking clue. Check this shit out.
What are you doing here? Why did you do this? You gotta go.
This is in Toronto.
Give him room.
This is a guy, a white guy in Toronto dressed up in blackface. This was what, Saturday, yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
All right, flower bed coming up behind you.
You heard him? KK,
did you hear him?
He said, "You arrest me because of the color of my skin."
We shouldn't be. It shouldn't be this fucking funny, but that shit was fucking hilarious. I didn't hear him say it until KK pointed that shit out.
I kept hearing the color of my skin, and I thought you start reading through comments. Oh, this motherfucker here, man.
That's fucking trippy, but
wordplay.
Yeah, no, this happened in Toronto. So a dude, some white guy dressed up in black. I wouldn't say blackface. He dressed his blackface, his
like
hands,
smoke exhaust from a truck. Shadow back of a truck. Yes.
He literally went straight minstrel show blackface.
Yeah, but his hands. His hands and everything was blackface, was black. And he went to a protest for Black Lives Matter in Canada, which is the most sweetest, purest country out there, known to man. I've been to Canada. Canada was dope.
I've been talking to folks in Canada, and they're like, no, don't let it fool you.
well, it's not so much in Canada, from my understanding. It's not so much they hate the black folks, but the Muslims and the Middle Easterner guys, whatever you want to call them, they fucking despise those individuals. The brown people. But anyway, but it's Canada. From what we know of Canada, most people, we have the idea that they don't lock their doors at night. And of course, it's not 100% true. But this happens in Canada. This white dude comes to a rally for Black Lives Matter, and that is you're supporting not your country but another country. Like what the fuck? Like what you said earlier, like how the fuck did he leave the house like that?
I don't know how the fuck he got out the parking lot, like without somebody on his ass.
Yeah, like how did he get that far to where it's like no one?
He got all the way into the middle, the heart of the march.
Heart of the march.
Man, he fucked up. See,
someone had to see him in the car.
Yeah, like,
get into the car. Man. Someone had to see him get out of the car, park, drive. Like, why didn't somebody whoop his ass? Now, see, that's why the population in Canada is not a lot of black folks. I don't know what it is, but the demographics is not high. So that's how he got to where he got to. Yeah. He wasn't gonna pass a group of niggas looking like that.
Because white people are gonna yell at him and be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" But yeah, black folks gonna beat that ass.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gotten that far. But
and he also wouldn't have done it.
He wouldn't. That shit ain't happening in America
he
openly.
That stupid. Dumb, but he wasn't that dumb.
But that was in Toronto, so look at that motherfucker. Like, god damn, your boys, man.
My boys.
Look at these motherfuckers. Look at his ear. Leaking.
As you can see there before and after.
Look at that motherfucker. So this was, what was it? In your hometown of your favorite football team in the world. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. So this was in Buffalo. The cops were walking, a group of cops walking down the street doing their job. The military was behind them. I don't know if you caught that. Have you seen this clip before?
Yeah.
The 75-year-old white gentleman walked up to them for whatever reason. We don't know. I don't know the conversation that was had. Before he even got into a conversation, the police pushed the shit out of him. He fell, busted his head, and you heard his head.
That sound, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. And busted his head open, blood is spilling out of his ear. He's in a serious but stable condition out there in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What the fuck is really going on? We're protesting police brutality at this march.
Keep being brutal. It's crazy, isn't it?
We are protesting police brutality. It's like your girlfriend or your wife is saying, nigga, why are you always cheating on me? And you're like, hey, that bitch's booty is big. What'd you say, baby? Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. We are protesting police fucking brutality at this fucking moment. And your response in protesting police fucking brutality is, let's go beat up this old ass white man.
That shows you how fucked up they are. Like, that's the crazy shit. That's why I'm like, I love it personally. I'm like, keep showing the world. Hey, keep it up. Like, just watching them, just laughing. Like,
what the fuck, man? Like, is it really like? But at least hide it. At least hide it. At least hide it.
Nah. But see, here's the ill part, right? That clip that's being passed around and it's got people really outraged. It's funny to me because I'm like, this again, while good, is once more going to display the racism because all these white folks are now mad at a motherfucker who got pushed.
Not killed.
Right. Look at the outrage you see from white folks over an old white dude getting pushed. They wasn't outraged when motherfuckers are getting shot, tased, beaten to death. They wasn't outraged at a bunch of other shit. But they're about to be like, he fucking pushed him.
No, but it's bad though, man. Like they don't even care about themselves. Like when white people start hurting each other, you know that everything's fucked up. White people, they normally don't do that. It's black. See, that is white on white crime. So that statistic needs to go down as white on fucking white crime, right? Sure does. Fuck black on black crime. I seen some shit that should not have happened. Not only was it white on white crime, we have white police killing hurting older white. You know this guy could fucking die from that. Yeah. So then he got arrested. The two police got arrested. First they were suspended.
They're already out on PR bond.
Yeah, they were suspended. I didn't even know they were on a PR bond. So they were. You know what a PR bond is? If y'all know what a PR bond is, that is free.
What is it? Personal
recognizance. Yeah. That is free. Is what that shit is.
You paid $20.
That shit is free. You don't need no motherfucking bail bondsman. You don't have no bail set for you. It means like we're gonna let you go on just you being you, and we trusting that
take your word for it.
Yeah, and we trust that when we set your court date, you'll be there and you'll appear. That's what that shit is. So this is the thing. So they got arrested, right? When he got arrested, the emergency response team, the ERT, like 46 of them said they're 57 said we're done with this emergency response bullshit. They didn't quit the force. They quit the emergency response team, which is a group of individuals that go and respond to emergencies. Right. So they have no emergency response team right now. Or at least 57 of the motherfuckers are now gone. Right. And then I think 2 or 3 of them said, fuck it, we're going to retire. We're done.
we can't beat the shit out of people anymore. Fuck this job.
Like 57 of them. That's more players than the fucking Buffalo Bills have. They only hold a 53-man roster.
Why you keep bringing up the Bills, though?
Just for that response.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. Just to get at you. But fuck, man. Look at these motherfuckers. Like, what is really going on?
So, funny thing about that, because this brings up a bigger point, and I saw somebody make the comment, and of course I'm being shitty afterwards, but they brought up the Stanford prison experiment.
What is that?
Okay, so if you've never heard of the Stanford prison experiment, this was a psychological experiment performed that basically they took prisoners, and some of them they gave authority to, and they were like, okay, we're going to see how they interact with each other.
Real authority.
Not real authority. So this was an experiment
Okay.
on perceived authority.
Okay, gotcha.
And during the course of the experiment, those who were given this perception of authority started brutalizing and harassing and acting like assholes to the other former...
The regular inmates.
Yeah, the regular inmates. Like, these were motherfuckers you were just hanging out with yesterday.
Yeah.
But as soon as they told you, hey, we're going to put on this coat, you got some power. These motherfuckers started acting completely different. Okay? And it just speaks to the level of aggression and
what was the point of this experiment? Just to see what authority does to people?
It was to see how authority affects people, how people perceive authority.
Why did they do that experiment? Have y'all ever fucking read Animal Farm?
I'm familiar with the concept. I don't think I actually ever read it.
That is the book. It's a bunch of boys that get stuck on an island or some shit like that. Or not boys, but like whatever.
Well,
right?
but the point of the experiment was because you it's not enough to discuss those concepts in psychology, just like with any other science. You have to be able to prove that this is actually what happens. So the point was, how can they manipulate this perceived authority, and how do people respond to it? So that was the point. Just like the other experiments with conformity, how they'll have 10 people in a room, and they'll not tell one person that everybody's going to stand up when this beep goes off, and that one person, even though they were never told stand up when this beep goes off, they just kept seeing other people do it, so they just start fucking doing it.
You seen the video about that with the monkeys?
No.
So it's the same thing, concept. And not to cut you off, but I think the monkey story is way cooler than the shit you're about to say, right? So they had 5 monkeys in a cage, right? Mm-hmm. When they put a banana in the cage, they if the monkeys go towards the banana, they spray them with really fucking cold water, right? Mm-hmm. So then they keep on doing it for the 5 monkeys. They take one monkey out, replace with another monkey who's never been part of that. Mm-hmm. Banana goes up, they spray everybody with the cold water, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the other 4 monkeys didn't go to for that banana. The one monkey did. Those 4 monkeys beat the shit out of that one monkey. And the monkey stopped.
Familiar with this.
And the monkey stopped going for that banana. They took another monkey out, left the original, one of the 4 that were left over, took that one out, and kept on doing it, right? And then, of course, the new monkey every time went in there, banana came up, went for the monkey, got sprayed with cold water. Those other monkeys beat his ass, right? Then what happened is they put the banana up, and they would stop spraying him. Yeah. And every time the monkey went for the banana, they beat his ass. At the end of the experiment, you had 5 new monkeys. No more water, no more penalties were presented because they took the water away from the whole experiment. Right. But every time somebody went for that banana, the monkeys beat the new monkey's ass. Yeah. And they never knew why.
Yeah, the new monkeys had no fucking.
They had no idea why. They knew that.
We eat bananas.
Yeah, they had no idea why, but they knew that if we go for this monkey, somebody's gonna get their ass whooped. We don't know why they're gonna get their ass whooped. Yeah. We just know we're gonna whoop somebody's fucking ass. And that's kind of the same shit you're saying. I just think my fucking monkey story is better than your shit you're gonna say. I don't even know what you're gonna say.
It's a different psychological concept, but I kind of see where
I just want to say motherfucking monkey story, goddammit. But it's the same premise, though, right?
So
it's when you get power, or it's a simple fact of
power. You get conditioned to behave a certain way,
and have no any fucking idea why.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so I think that's the problem with police is that you give them this fucking authority, and a lot of these assholes have former issues with either being a bully in high school or maybe getting bullied, and now they want to take out their aggressions. But I think their mental health is not. I think monitored the way it should be for people that you have with guns, with power or perceived power over other people.
True.
So that's an extension of the bigger problem.
Completely true. Now, once again, look at those motherfuckers. We got some other motherfuckers to look at. Now, this one is a good look at this motherfucker, right? Now, you're probably going to disagree because that's what we do. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm fucking happy that these words were said.
It has been a difficult time for our country, in particular, black people in our country.
I see you.
First, my condolences to the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the families who have endured police brutality. We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression
Adrian
of
want to go
black
off
people.
already. You ready?
We, the National Football
2
League,
seconds in.
admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe Black Lives Matter.
He believes it, Adrian.
I personally protest
As he
with you
reads it off the fucking telephone.
and want to be part of the
He is
much needed
totally reading
change
this.
in this
see his
country.
eyes looking off camera to read his fucking script.
Without black players, there
Without
would
black
be no
players,
National
there'd be
Football
no
League.
National Football fucking league.
And the protests around the country,
So racist.
emblematic of the centuries of silence, inequality, and oppression of black players, coaches, fans, and staff. We are listening.
Now.
I am listening.
Now,
And I will be reaching out to players
now,
who have raised their voices
then.
and others on how we can improve and go forward for a better and more united NFL family.
Let's go! And the kickoff begins.
So first of all, fuck that. All right. If that shit was halfway sincere, that would have been what he said back when his little thing with Jay-Z came out, right? That statement should have been said at that point in time if that was how he felt. Because,
Okay, no, go. I'm listening. Go ahead.
okay, because that would have shown that, okay, you've had some conversations and, you know, you guys obviously fumbled the ball as far as, you know, protesting and your stance on, you know, the systematic oppression. That would have shown you're taking it seriously. This...
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
What am I talking about? You don't remember when him
No.
and Jay-Z had the press conference?
Now, listen.
I mean, I mean, that would have been cute if you had been able to get it off like a minute ago when I first started.
No,
it
it
still
wouldn't
have made sense, but...
No, it doesn't make sense at all now. But listen, I'm going to play the devil's advocate, all right? I'm going to play the devil's advocate. That's the button I wanted to touch,
I'm a phenomenon!
So I'm going to defend it. I'm going to play the devil's advocate, all right?
Defend that.
Now, mind you, this is just because I like fucking with him, okay? I think that this message, for one, is in vain, for one. I think it came way fucking late. At this point, you shouldn't say nothing. You should just change and let your change be your work, right? If anything, when you play Madden NFL, let that fucking, you know, Black Lives Matter thing introduction come on, and when next season starts, change every fucking thing when it comes to this, right? The first thing he should have done was given Colin Kaepernick an open apology, if anything, right? Which would have been in vain too, but that would have been the start, right? Anyway, so when you said something about the Jay-Z deal, when he was going back and forth, when him and Jay-Z had that convention, which was, again, in vain for show, he was going through legal proceedings with Colin Kaepernick, right?
No, they had already settled.
But weren't they still going?
No, they had already settled.
All right, so what the fucking?
Bro, what are you talking about?
What am I talking about? Carry on.
So, point being, they had already settled. So that's why I said when this little, you know, collaboration between him and Jay-Z came out, that's when he should have said something like that. If I'm going to believe that it's halfway sincere,
Yeah.
Because at this point, like you said, it's in vain. It's reactionary. It's for the fucking cameras. It's, you know, shit's going to, you know, to hell. Let me go ahead and look like I'm on the right side of this now, and, you know, say what I need to say as I read it off the fucking teleprompter. Obvious as fuck. So,
Do you think he at least wrote that?
No, fuck no.
KK, how do you feel about Roger Goodell?
It was a waste of time.
Do you accept it?
Nah.
You don't accept it at all.
Nah.
Not at all. You don't think there's no sincerity in it.
I mean, without black people, motherfucker, we been on that. Like, that was stupid. Ain't nobody, like I said, I ain't watching nobody but Christian McCaffrey. If that's what the fuck. There's nobody that can play football like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just. It was way too late, man.
So we can't welcome back to the barbecue. We can't get him a.
He never was at that motherfucker.
We can't get him a plate.
Potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes,
No tomatoes.
What was the old thing with arsenic in the master's tea?
The what?
When you would could slip arsenic in the Masters tee, he could get that plate.
So he's not back to the barbecue, but he's not welcome now. At least get at least no. Nothing. No.
They saying he was never invited.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't. All right. Well, shit, my bad. Well, goddamn. Well, again, I think it's stupid. I think it's very. It's almost insulting, and the reason why it's insulting from him to say it is because he is the biggest. The guy that countered it the most.
He was right. He was the face of
the opposition,
the contention, right, between him and Kaepernick. So it was like he's in direct opposition to it when he could have
changed the whole narrative of this whole
taken
thing.
5 fucking minutes at that time to be
And
like,
said
no,
this.
this makes sense, right? Because I'm sure, the position he's in, he couldn't have fucking called Kaepernick to a private meeting and said, "Tell me more," because maybe I'm fucking socially inept and I don't understand the concept you're trying to explain. So have a conversation with me so that I can go out there and explain it to the rest of the league or whatever it was. But instead, he knew what the fuck it stood for.
Yeah.
But he just knew what it meant as far as hurting his brand because of how many white people want you to shut up and fucking play football. So he was protecting his brand, as most of these motherfuckers do. They're like, nah, how's this going to affect me? If these motherfuckers start acting like this, I'm going to have these rednecks and all these white people who, buy the beer that our commercials and our advertising revenue comes from.
But like,
right.
goddammit.
So he was thinking, how's this going to affect my pocketbooks and what do my white fans think? He was not giving half a fuck about what the cause was.
No, agreed. And the funny thing about it is if he would have made a stance, they would have made a stance. Because the white people, believe it or not, it's like one of those things. It's hard to be the first one. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, they love black lives. Like, let's not pretend like all white people hate black guys or black lives. It's not. It's a lot of people that really, really fuck with us. But then there's also a lot of white people that really, really are fucking us up. Even that do fuck with us, like these riots and everything. There's a lot of white people out there destroying shit in the name of Black Lives Matter. And we're not even asking for y'all to do this shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, if he would have made that stance in this same position again when this shit first started, and him and Colin actually had the conversation, and him and the owners got together and said, "Hey, this is the issue, like something that really needs to be addressed because our whole fucking league is black, and our whole league is not coming from Rancho Cucamonga, or they're not coming from fucking Stone Oak. These motherfuckers are coming from the hood of Miami, Florida, Dallas, Texas, regular hoods in this world, underprivileged areas, and they understand this shit." So I mean, it's very in vain. And guys, I'm fucking joking to you. He's not welcome to the barbecue. I will take all his monies, his charity, and his funding if he wants to give it to us or give it to me. This is the show. You can call me, and we'll love to take whatever you want to give to us. We need new chairs. Goddammit, we need chairs. He's.
Do you think a white person speaking out, like, what they friends are gonna think is the same as the 3 cops? Is that the same decision that they had to make?
It's the same. It's the same exact.
It is, right.
It kind of is.
It's that crossroad.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the first one.
Yeah.
But
it's about acceptance. Who if I speak out, what section of people rejects me? What section of people accepts me?
It's always going to be a change.
Yeah. So that's the decision that they have to make. So that shitty ass cop, those 3 cops, that's the decision they're making. If I stop this asshole from killing him, how do the boys in blue look
when
at
I
me
walk
going
through?
forward?
When I walk through, yeah.
Versus the other people, who's going to accept me? So yes, these people filming this right now, and if the world sees this video where I intervene and stopped a cop from killing a guy, yes, they may accept me, but I know for damn sure my job with the blue is done.
Yeah, you done.
Your career, you're not even going to get on another beat, another force. They're done with you. I mean, you're black.
So that's the decision when people, and that's always been the penalty or the cost to take a stand on something, anything, no matter how small or how big. You're always going to have to decide what are the consequences, but that can't be your guiding light, because that's why I said that's what separates a good person from a non-good person.
Mm-hmm. No
consequences be damned. If you do what's right, you just got to do what's right.
Morality is a bitch, and once again, we are looking at this motherfucker. Last but not least, good old Future. This is just something that
I, the great and powerful,
The great and powerful. She saw this shit on Facebook. IG was on IG,
It
right?
was on IG. I just thought it was funny.
It was funny as fuck.
Yeah,
Man, look at this. So look at this motherfucker. Ain't just for the others.
Yeah, this is some Count of Monte Cristo shit.
We be fucking up too, goddammit. And we know it. We're human just like everybody else. And believe it or not, black people are probably more harder on each other than we are on than on other races. You know, we speak out on all kinds of shit, you know? The shit that Future is doing in life is, where's he from? Atlanta or Canada? Which one is
Atlanta.
he from Atlanta?
Shit, I don't know.
This nigga needs to quit. He's doing too motherfucking much out in these streets. He got 26
The
babies. How many babies he got?
At least 9 of them motherfuckers.
But this one is funny.
No, okay, so this one.
He got
It's
a
more than 9.
No, he
got 9 baby mamas.
No. Yeah, he didn't get her pregnant. But this is so. It was a fun fact, guys. When Future was a little kid, he asked Scottie Pippen for an autograph. Scottie Pippen said, "Fuck no." 20 years later, Future slept with his wife, and now he's the reason for their divorce.
I think it's some made up shit. I don't think.
No, I found out they fact checked it. That's actually true.
He asked for an autograph.
This is
and
actually
he said,
true.
"Fuck no."
Yeah. I looked into that because I thought the same thing. I was like, it's funny for a meme, but that shit can't be true. This shit is
Let
actually
me start
true.
asking niggas for the autographs. No? Oh, all right, motherfucker.
Where your wife at,
All
goddamn?
right,
I'm gonna
motherfucker.
become a successful ass motherfucking rapper.
Yeah.
Fuck your wife.
I'm gonna fuck your
Be
wife
all in
long
the
dick
bathroom.
style.
That's the one that's gonna get her.
Yeah. Hey, this lyric, hey, wait till she hear this shit. Have a subliminal in there shit, talking about her and shit on the cool. She listen to that bitch. Oh, that nigga Future rapping about me. But no, man, this nigga here is out of line, bro. Like, he has, you said at least 9, I think he has like 9 and 11 kids.
9 baby mamas.
It's 9 baby mamas. I just don't remember how many kids.
And he has like 11. I think he has 14 baby mamas and 12 kids. Like, it's bad.
It's a lot.
And the math doesn't add up. I know the math doesn't add up, but that's how bad he is, right? But he has, you know, he's doing the most. And god damn, like this nigga is too rich not to have a condom. Like,
I've asked females this on this show before. I'm gonna keep asking.
what?
When the fuck do you be like, this nigga got too many baby like, what makes you be like, I'm gonna have a kid by him? Like,
Fuck that.
That check.
No.
At this point,
that shit
they're
ain't gonna
like,
last
really-
forever.
No,
though.
what makes you be like
The
you know,
more kids, the less that shit is.
the first baby mama taken care of. That 8th, 9th baby mama, she's
nigga
getting
just a baby.
$25. No, and that's
Yeah,
real numbers.
but-
These are real numbers. Like when you get to those,
No, the percentage goes down.
Yeah, you're
they
getting,
still from him clocking some serious checks right now.
But this
like you
the-
said, it won't last forever.
Yeah.
But right now, they're like, I'm gonna try to get while the getting's still good.
no, but no bullshit. The first baby mama's gonna get what 30% is kind of what it comes out. And once you have other kids, so the first baby mom may get like 22%.
Starts being a reduction.
Yeah, that other 8% is divided by the other 8 baby mamas. So that last one is probably getting like $1,000. Like no bullshit. Like she's not getting a lot of money.
I saw a news article. Still, it was still.
It was still a lot?
It was tens of thousands of dollars. Per
But still, like, goddamn, like, think about it. Like, I fucked with females before, and if I find that you have a lot of kids, like, I'm gonna wear a condom today. Like, this is kind of, and guys, safe sex should always be done. You should always wear
you're the one
condoms.
paying. She's the one collecting, so their mindset's going to be different.
But he understands his pull-out game is weak.
Well, yeah, for him, he.
Like, why is this nigga not strapping up? Like, what is his thought process? What is he doing in his life?
I mean, have you listened to the motherfucker rap? I don't think he cares. Like, that's just the real answer.
What you got, Bree?
You on the wrong screen.
No.
That's
the
a
old
delay.
screen. Yeah.
it's
No,
just
that's the scene change. He's on now.
Yeah, no. It's just a delay. I'm on the future screen. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Brianna, we have alls back there fucking up, guys. Don't worry about we love it. We love it still.
This nigga can't have 14 baby mamas. I'm sorry, dog. I refuse to believe any motherfucker got 14 baby mamas. Man.
He has at least
I don't know. Right now, I just looked it up. It says he got 6 with 6 baby mamas.
That
No, it's more.
sounds
It's more than that.
It's more than that. No,
I refuse to believe this nigga got 14 kids.
read when that article was made.
He had. Remember, he just got into it with
Some other bitches was
6ix9ine's
going
baby
back
mama.
and forth with each other, yeah. And that's remember when 6ix9ine was going through the shit with his baby mama because 6ix9ine got a lot of babies and 6ix9ine tagged Future and was like, "Hey Future, what do I do?"
Nigga, I did not see that.
And Future said she for the streets.
Yeah, Peter said she for the streets. And then and it's like, let her go. She for the streets. And 6ix9ine, as much as we all want and we should hate him, he's a fucking hilarious individual. He's fucking funny as shit. He's hilarious.
He's irrelevant.
But
he's a fucking clown.
But yeah, man, Future. That's the last one of that. Look at this motherfucker. And nigga, if y'all out there fucking, please wear condoms. This is an advertisement from Trojan, Magnums, Lifestyles, Durex, and whatever condom you so choose.
Y'all could win that bullshit.
I'm just a fan of blowjobs.
Hey, he gets one of those. If you're a fucking fan of blowjobs, you're a fan of myself. Pause.
I know what they doing. Stop. It's okay.
Never mind.
It's okay. Just stop. Please stop. It's okay. It's okay.
I got shit to do tomorrow, man. You gotta go home, man.
We'll be all goddamn day.
So you asked something about with the whole Future situation about how females and Brianna. You can probably help out with this. Why are y'all dating ugly niggas? What was the question you had? You had?
How are y'all pulling these females, these ugly niggas?
These ugly niggas.
You know, you see somebody, you like, hey, you see somebody walking with a tractor, you like, this motherfucker pull that? Like,
what? Yeah. Like,
what?
That doesn't make sense.
I know I can knock that down. Like, I know if that motherfucker is holding her hand, say, look.
That's why you ain't pulling, because you thinking about just knocking her down. Why this nigga's trying to take care of bills, rent, mortgage, pedicures, manicures, all that shit.
I got my own shit to pay for. I'm gonna be doing all that extra shit.
That's your problem.
So what is it all? What we got? What's going on? Why is like I don't know. You ever dated an ugly nigga just because he treated you right?
No.
Would you date an ugly nigga because they treat you right?
Who the fuck you talking to?
So I've had this conversation with other females, and they say at a certain age, when you're not in a serious monogamous relationship, you no longer look at looks. You look at what the other person can do for you. I'm not there yet.
I think that's
what he was saying. But yeah, that's kind of the funny thing.
Keke said I got bills. I ain't fucking.
The intersection, and it's funny how the intersection happens as they get older. Then they start looking for the things they didn't necessarily value when they were younger. But men, as we get older, because we now know I have more of the resources. I have more of the resources she wants. And the older women, you no longer have what I want. Your looks are fading. You have multiple children. Why the fuck do I want to invest in you? I'd rather go ahead and if I'm gonna be a sugar daddy,
say that again.
Why should I invest in you?
Because you have multiple children.
And your looks are fading.
Why should you what?
Yeah. Why should I invest in you? The younger woman has the things that I'm looking for. So that's why I say it's funny how the values they meet somewhere in the 30s, but then as it goes on further, then men are like, no, I'm financially secure. I know exactly what I want, which is not a wife. I just want a plaything. So if I'm going to get a plaything, I'm going to get a young one with no kids that can do exactly what I want. Instead of your ass who's old, bitter, arguing all the time, you got all this baggage. The fuck I want to deal with that for? Especially if I got to pay.
I need that pew, 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 nigga, pew.
Shots.
Yeah. No,
shots fired.
God damn. And that, but see, the funny thing about it is that, you know, that's how women act. And I need to find this fucking this meme I had. And it was funny because this woman said something along the lines of, you know, y'all guys, you know, y'all niggas ain't fucking, y'all niggas in little dicks and shit like that. You know, fuck y'all niggas. And then the guy was like, well, you know, you're fat and ugly anyway. Oh, you're being sexist. Like, oh, now it's an issue, right? You talk about all these little dick niggas out there and shit, and now we call you fat, and now it's an issue. Like the double standards in relationships are bad, and then women can't understand the truth. And I always say this. I'm over here spitting and shit. So I've always said this when it comes to dating. Women are out there fucking up a lot of relationships. These relationships aren't ending because niggas is bad. And the funny thing about it, and they've done an experiment like this, where you have two people arguing. This is how society looks at men. You have two people in a restaurant arguing, right? The woman can slap the man. Everyone's going to run to the woman's defense. Nigga, what did you do, sir? You know what I mean? Yeah. They can have an argument. the man can slap the woman or push her, like, get off of me. And she's antagonizing the whole situation. Sir, why'd you push the woman? Like, fuck. When did this whole thing happen that women are fucking always right and never do nothing wrong? Like, when did this, like, I know you fucked up some relationships. Every relationship didn't end because that nigga just ain't shit. That nigga don't take care of his kids. That nigga don't call, nigga trifling.
I give you that.
So why do y'all have this notion that, like, y'all's pussy's made a goal for one?
For one, it is.
It's not. Because the thing about it is, right now in 2020, nigga, pussy's a dime a dozen.
So is dick. I can go out and get it wherever I want to.
So exactly, we're on the same playing field. Yeah, because y'all complain about bad dick a lot. Niggas are like, man, that pussy was trash. Nigga, we fucking, so it's like, this is awesome. Nigga, this is awesome. So, I mean, nigga, I nutted. So I mean,
go home.
So you talk about good dick is anywhere, like shit. I mean, you talk about dick is anywhere, but like
dick is anywhere.
No, agreed. Pussy anywhere too. So you understand we're on the same playing field, right? No, but you understand we're on the same playing field. So y'all don't have that thing that y'all used to have. I can get a motherfucking subscription on OnlyFans for $10 a motherfucking month, and I can be good any day of the week. You know what I mean? So it's
what the fuck are you talking about?
You don't know what OnlyFans is?
I mean, I've heard of it. I ain't never been on it.
Oh, that was your $10,000.
Yeah.
$100,000.
That dude, Dallas, whatever, that was taking ass shots, that was taking cheek shots.
But I'm saying, what does $10 do?
You know OnlyFans, you heard of it? You know what it is, right? You know how it works? So there's people, women, you know, they post pictures and whatever. They charge people $10, $15. I've already seen $10. Around
Instagram is free.
Oh, nigga, Pornhub is free, nigga. But this is the thing though. They'll charge you $10 a month for subscription, and you can subscribe to their media, right? Mm-hmm. Pictures, them getting fucked, whatever it is on the media, right? And they'll even interact with you, talk to you, and send you personal pictures and photos. You can ask for whatever, right? They also have this thing on there called meetups, to where you can pay for a meetup. A meetup is like $35, where you can meet up with them and just fuck. You have 2 hours or an hour.
$35?
How do you know so much about this?
This shit is on Snapchat. They have pages on Snapchat, and I'll show y'all once we get off air.
I straight up thought it was just porn shit. I didn't know you could just fuck for $40.
And they'll have blowjobs for like 30.
I'm like, hold up. Cheesecake Factory, my bill's at least $70. The movies, that's another $40, $50. I'm like, I've been doing it all wrong.
Doing it wrong. And some of these females are bad as shit.
There's no way you fucking for $35.
Nigga, listen, no bullshit. And then they have, if y'all are listening, y'all talk about these OnlyFans, nigga. And they have, you can get threesomes. They'll offer you threesomes for like $120.
That should be 70 though.
And then
nigga said 120.
The math is wrong.
Yeah, the math all the way wrong. I just fuck you twice. Shit. I
just fuck you twice.
120. Yeah, you lost me. You won anything.
And then nigga have like you can have them for like 4 days for like $250 type shit. Like no bullshit. And the reason why I know this because this is on Snapchat. So like you'll have people on Snapchat that are advertising the OnlyFans. I sent one to Didi. About the whole interactions and the posting and the prices. It's fucking crazy out there. Like prostitution, I wish I had that Pimp C line, but prostitution, Pimp C said that prostitution has gone digital. It's not the same as hoes on the corner selling ass. He said the fucking game from pimping has changed, nigga. Hoes don't need niggas.
10 years ago, say
yeah. But these females out here don't need niggas no more. They don't need pimps. Pimp C had a song about that shit.
Eliminated pimps, just like Netflix did away with the blockbusters.
With the blockbusters and the fucking damn near red boxes. I mean, life has changed out here, bro.
Selling that shit for $40, I don't want it. I'm
good. But in the videos, I'll show you when we get out. You see them they in cars fucking niggas. And they be doing that shit raw too. I be looking at them like, why are you fucking these niggas raw? It's like I said,
strangers.
I'm pretty sure their acquaintance hasn't been anything beyond that. I'm pretty sure they. I don't know that to give you the answer. I don't know. It could be their boyfriends, and they're just saying that it's some regular person
to give the motherfuckers hope.
But yeah, but these are the offers. But these are the offers. But there's women that fucking like getting thousands of dollars a month off of OnlyFans subscription. Like this is like.
I think we interrupted you, Bree.
I guess I was supposed to answer my question,
What's your question?
I forgot what it was.
The question was about you and Ugly. What was the question that we asked? I'm sorry, we got an OnlyFans tip.
Do you like ugly dudes?
I don't. I answered that question.
Why
with
though?
quickness.
You ever fucked an ugly dude before?
No.
Really?
You a motherfucker.
You a
liar.
goddamn. I done fucked some questionable beasts in my life.
Listen, the difference is you males, right, will fuck anything.
Basically,
most
to
females
a
are
certain
very
extent.
selective.
Most of y'all aren't selective.
I've had a little slump bust. Hey, look. Don't ever tell nobody this shit.
I
You hear
won't
me?
object to your generalization. I just know from a personal standpoint, like, motherfuckers used to roast me because I turned down pussy. I'm like, it's not that hard for me to get, so I don't see it. It doesn't make sense for me personally.
A girl
I've
asked me
had
if
that
I was gay
conversation
because
recently.
she was like, "Do you like pussy?" I'm like, I love it. I just don't want yours.
I find myself doing it more as I'm older. Like back in the day, I was knocking them down as they was coming. I was feeling myself, nigga. I found out I was cute. And I was like, I found out I was cute. No, you're 100% right, nigga. I found out I was cute. I was making your fucking day. You ugly bitches like, I've never fucked nobody as fine as you. You never will, bitch. Like,
But did you go back?
I mean, no, not really. I had a bad time in my life where I was like doing stuff for others. Like I had my moments, right? But the thing is that like I've fucked ugly women before. I have not ugly. Okay. Okay, hold on.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Contemplate that one for a second. Like,
nah, she was hideous. She was trolling.
Motherfucker, watch it. What? I wonder who the ugly one was.
Yeah.
It was you. You thinking that right now was your
She's
ugly
wondering,
ass.
right? Yep,
If you're thinking of your motherfucking ass, and I apologize.
But
Really,
I did
don't.
hear that the ugly ones are good.
I mean, a lot of y'all hoes is pretty. I mean,
So I can say
females.
this.
I'm sorry, that was a joke.
While I haven't dealt with ugly, I have dealt with less attractive, and a couple of the.
I've done less attractive.
That's
ugly, yeah.
That's not ugly.
That's not
Because if you
ugly.
got your
That's not
scale,
ugly.
right? If you got your scale, you're 1 to 10. You got your dimes, and you got your ones. Anything 5 and below qualifies as ugly. 7s and 8s, they're just not as attractive as your dimes.
What do you consider a 7 at? You understand? Beyonce's is like 10. So what is it? What did you
Beyonce
consider?
ain't a 10 to me though.
So what is
I
your
think
10?
Kelly
What is
Rowland
your
look better
10?
than Beyonce.
I think they're both a 10.
What is it? What is your idea of a 10?
Let's see. Like Megan Good, she ranks up on it.
Megan Good is bad. And bad meaning good.
Let's see. If y'all remember Kenya Moore.
Yeah.
Used to be on BET. Kenya Moore is up there. Who else? Rosalind Sanchez.
Yeah.
So
Why is it so hard for y'all to name 10s? I can name it.
because I don't think there's a lot of 10s. 10. For me to qualify you as a 10, you got to be fucking legit bad all the way around.
Like
You
a
can't
Halle
just be
Berry.
throwing that shit out.
I've never thought she was like.
It's hard for me to give Halle a 10 only because she doesn't have sex appeal to me. She's
She
a
really
beautiful
doesn't.
woman.
She really doesn't.
But
That's what it is.
You know,
That's what it is.
it's
She really
cause,
doesn't.
Because I've legit seen some like 6s that were sexy as fuck, and I'm like, you're not really fine.
Hey, sex
but
appeal
something
can-
about you, yeah. I
Sex
kind of want to
appeal.
knock it down.
Hey, sex appeal will get you this dick.
Yeah,
like quick.
Like, so
Like you're a 4, but motherfucker, that walk is mean. That walk is mean.
We can't do that with you guys. I'm sorry.
nigga, that walk appeal is mean.
But so yeah, so that's why it's hard for me to think of legit 10s. Like, you know, I can think of a lot of 8s and 9s pretty easy, you know, but 10s, the ratio is different for me.
Nigga, I want to know your hit list. I know Nick Cannon got a motherfucking hit list. Nigga, I want to see your goddamn hit list. If you just fucking 9s and 10s. Have y'all seen Nick
I
Cannon's
said
hit
less
list?
attractive. I said I deal with some.
That shit is very impressive.
Nick Cannon, corny ass. That motherfucker is like, I'm envious of fucking Nick at Night, nigga.
I saw like a pie chart. Like this nigga here.
This nigga's out of line, and this nigga's like, I mean, shit. So like,
Go buy me a turban, man.
you already got the braids, goddamn. Let's get you goddamn turban, goddamn. Like J Lo? Is she on your spectrum?
J Lo would have, I think, and I say would have because what is she like 50 something now?
She still look good though.
Boy, don't talk about old people around.
Look, I ain't saying she's ugly. She would still get a solid 8.5 to a 9, but I don't give her 10 status no more. I did at one point in time.
Okay.
But now I'm like,
She's still bad.
So most females, I guess you.
But y'all just naming celebrities though, like.
Well, because that's one that everybody knows.
Everyone knows. I can't talk about Keisha that walk over and
Y'all don't know who that is. Right. That's why people reference celebrities because you know everybody should know who that is.
So Bree, you don't fuck ugly niggas, no?
But see, that's the other thing.
That's a but.
What,
She won't answer
no. Listen, just like we just discussed, what Adrian's 10 is not your 10, right? So what I think is ugly somebody else may not think is ugly.
Yeah, I think I just realized my standards are pretty low. So thank you.
I know. I'm like.
Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming along and coming on the show. It's been real. Y'all have a good night. You made me realize I need to check myself. And KK admits it. KK like, motherfucker, we not gonna talk about this. I'm gonna need you to.
I like older women. I don't like playing with these little young motherfuckers, man.
63 and up. So KK hit.
Not really 63. I was just bullshitting.
56. Okay. KK wants them close to retirement, at retirement.
I think 50 something was about the oldest I have gone.
How old were you at the time?
At the time, I was 32.
You know, I've had with an older woman, sex with an older woman before, and it was like an easy transaction, I would say, to give it the lack of better words. It was just
because they let it be what it is.
It was just simple.
Yeah, they let it be what it is. A lot of the younger women, and this has changed, but a lot of young women tend to want the relationship. They want the other things that go with it because they just. I think that's why I say it's changed because now some of the younger women. They're not restricted by those societal pressures anymore. They're like,
fuck me, nigga, and go home.
Yeah.
You got to get you a Dolores. Like, baby, you need $100. I'll take it. You know,
but for a while.
You need to pay your car note? I do. I really do.
Now that you bring it up.
You got it, you know.
Not going to turn it down.
Yeah, I mean,
but for a while, you know, a lot of women, you know, in your age range, they just, that societal pressure to have a relationship. They didn't just want to be fucking and looking like a slut, you know. But now they're like, you can't slut shame me. So thank you, Amber Rose.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amber Rose,
Appreciate
for that.
That slut walk,
she
right?
set them free.
Hey, I always talk about that whole movement with Amber Rose. Like, it's a very good movement for y'all women. She is the wrong person to head it. But you know, it makes sense. It's just y'all motherfucking spokesperson is like too much of a whore. Like, you can't use her.
I think you can. I think for me, and this is why I told women
Not to be taken serious though.
The thing was
because the slut walk and the whole thing is now all about sex and not necessarily women liberation. Like those marches and those things is people going after specifically
it
the fuck.
focuses on specifically the sexual liberation.
But it's about a whole lot more than that.
And I always laugh because when I had the conversation about the idea of slut shaming, I'm like, why are you worried? Because this is where shaming comes into play. You shouldn't give a fuck, truly. And if a motherfucker calls you slut, why do you care? If you can't be shamed, it shouldn't matter. Shamed? If you can feel shamed, then that means you feel there's something wrong with it. So that's a whole different conversation you got to have with yourself. Don't worry about what a motherfucker called you or didn't call you. If you feel shame because of it, that's on you. So you got some soul searching to do. Like, fuck what he said. Why do you feel shame about it? If you feel shame about it, that means you feel there's something wrong with it.
So you can't do that. You're making too much sense. Like that makes sense. It's a common concept, right? It's like what Cat Williams says, like self-esteem. Self-esteem is esteem of oneself. There's no one that should be able to break your self-esteem down. Your motherfucking self. You know what I mean? And that always stuck with me. Like, how in the fuck is someone else ruining or fucking with your self-esteem? It shouldn't happen. If someone's fucking with your self-esteem, then you never had self-esteem to begin with. And kind of like what you're saying, like, if you're comfortable with you and who you are as a person, who gives a fuck if that nigga stayed the night or not?
Yeah, you can't be shamed into some shit you don't feel bad about.
You're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to you, again, what you're saying, but believe it or not, that shit doesn't make sense to a lot of people. A lot of people are, I always say people are stupid. That's my biggest comment when I talk about people as a whole. People are dumb.
Overwhelming majority of them are.
Individual, we're cool, smart individuals, but as a whole, we're dumb as fuck. Like we're horrible. We're dumb as shit. But that's just kind of look at it. But so we got you, Brandon. You don't fuck ugly niggas. I'm trying to think of niggas she dated. I'm talking that nigga.
I don't bring anyone around, y'all.
You know what?
You don't bring the ugly ones around.
You don't bring the ugly ones
I
around.
don't bring anyone around. I don't think Damien can say that I've ever brought any dude I've ever talked to around.
I can't say that. I will honestly say that I am not aware of anybody, and I've never heard about it, which I don't ask or talk around. But I don't know.
People around?
No.
That used
My
to be
family
my go-to.
is crazy.
Motherfucker get to meet my mama.
I'm fucking
2 days in, hey, come meet my mama real quick. I met that nigga mama. Yeah.
Everybody.
That nigga asshole now. Look,
I can honestly say that I could not say who and me and Brianna used to hang out. We used to kick it, like kick it. But Brianna cut her fucking phone off and not talk to you for 2 or 3 days before you find out what she doing. Like no bullshit.
I sure would.
No bullshit. She'll be like, all right, I got shit to do. I'll talk to y'all. In a little bit. I'll talk to you in a little bit. What is your biggest flaw or your biggest knack as a female? You have 3 niggas here. We're not gonna do this whole. Oh, we still gotta come up with the guidelines when we're talking to Dee Dee and her friends and Tasha. We need to come with the guidelines that y'all women. We go back to that show, read it.
So they said women after 30, before 35, nothing counts on their body count. Like
they back to 0. That's a woman's guideline.
So at 35, they start to 0.
My thing is I tell everybody, do what you want until you're 21. After 21, that's when it starts counting.
Not really, because most niggas ain't fucking till 22, 23.
Sorry, 23. I give you college age, so 23.
Fuck, that's still late. You ain't even learned what you like yet. Like.
It's your fault for not starting early. I'm sorry.
Damn. You had no kids. You can't have no kids.
I don't have kids.
No, you shouldn't be. I don't condone. I don't give a fuck what you do with your life. But I started having sex 16, 17.
That's about the right age.
Yeah.
But I mean,
now tell you, hey, you're 17, like he's 12 years old, fucking now, like God, damn, you're watching my kids. Like,
my best friend had the first time having sex. He was 13, and it was him running a train on some chick. His first time he's ever had sex. Him and his homeboy ran a train on some bitch at 12, 13.
He had a gay experience, huh?
You've never?
Never. That shit is so gay to me.
You've never ran a
I've
train?
got a 1 dick per room rule.
That's me. Like, even if I'm in a room, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me go get on the couch. Well, I get the fuck about the room, dog. I'm not going to be naked near another nigga. You know?
Yeah, man. Trains are horrible. So, Brianna, back to your conversation. So, what is it about, like, a gripe that you would have towards, like, I guess, relationships?
My biggest thing is for one, I'm mean. I don't apologize for that, but I am mean. I'm very honest, is what I call it. And I don't necessarily need to see you and talk to you every single goddamn day. Let me have my space. Let me miss you.
It's like, don't you have a feeling sometimes you just want to be left the fuck alone?
Yes.
It's not necessarily mean like you just don't want to be bothered sometimes.
Just let me miss you.
Like, let me just not want to be around you. Like, let me say go home, and you're like, all right. Like, let me just. So you see, I don't think that's normal with females.
It's not.
I don't think that's normal at all with females. Like, females want to always be up under you.
It's the standard. That's
there you go.
Yeah.
All of them ain't clingy.
Yeah.
They ain't clingy. Have you ever had do you prefer the clingy or the non-clingy, or how is your?
It got to be a mixture of both.
Now see, KK, he a nigga through and through. He tough. He like, not saying he a nigga, but he's like, man's man. KK sensitive as shit too. He has emotions and feelings.
Everybody do.
I think as humans, don't we all?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much on the side of like.
You're emotionally callous. Like.
If you can ask around, it's pretty bad, and I wish I was better. But
it's not hard.
But see, I would think KK would be like, oh man, fuck these hoes. Like, I figured KK would be like,
I wouldn't be that person.
But just very like, not but KK is like, I guess what a sweet guy, I guess I would say. Like, he's more in touch with himself than I would never think that shit. Because talking to him, KK is, are you like that too?
Entertainment.
I think there's. It depends on the situation.
You've been both.
I've been both. Yeah. I've been cold as fucking ice, and then there's been relationships that I got in where I was just, fell deep as fuck. So I mean, it's situational. It depends on the person.
What y'all motherfuckers laughing at, man?
Wade Mack.
You gotta read these comments as they come
Mack
in.
says he told him that in confidence. So now you putting yourself out there, Wade.
Well, I'm talking about someone had sex at 13 and first time was him running the train. Look, I didn't say no name to that shit or nothing. Brandon, he
put himself out there.
Oh shit, that nigga did tell me that shit in confidence too. Sorry, my nigga, my bad. But no. Yeah, and that's the thing with that. So yeah, it's like who were you saying? I forgot. Trevor threw me off.
I wasn't talking.
It was you.
Oh right, about the balance.
The balance.
Yeah, the balance.
Yeah, just I'm not gonna be an overly emotional dude with every woman I interact with, and obviously that's gonna go the other way also. I'm not gonna be cold as ice with every woman I interact with. It's gonna be dependent on the period of time in my life. It's gonna be dependent on her. And other things. I'm not just going to go into something expecting to be. That's not true. I usually don't go into something expecting
to
to
be
be
just
one
nothing.
way.
Yeah.
The situation plays out, and depending on her and me at the time,
you get what
becomes
you
one
get.
or the other.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm not the same. Like I'm callous and loving to the same person, like in the same day. It's not necessarily like you deserve my heart and you deserve
You're
this dick.
Jekyll and Hyde too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That was a good explanation, right? You deserve my heart and you deserve this dick. Like it's not like that with the individual. Like at some time that same person can deserve my heart and my dick. It just depends how I feel that week. And it's like it's just Dr. Jekyll and I guess.
I swear, I swear that's me. I have like all my handles is like KK versus Kelvin. Like Kelvin is the sweetest dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take you out, but KK tried to get you in the back of the car to fuck real quick. Take y'all
Get back to the party, nigga.
Like KK a real asshole. Like, when he come out, it's a problem.
That's the nigga I know.
Yeah, he's a problem.
And I guess that's the nigga I should know because you don't deal with me in a sweet way. Yeah. But like and that's what people say, oh, how niggas like, bitch, I don't fuck with niggas like that. I wouldn't know how niggas are like that. I know KK as a nigga. I don't know how he's gonna date you. But it's like, and then he the show, me and KK have hung out a lot, like probably in this last 2-3 months, and we've done a decade or two.
Yeah.
But so it's like I'm realizing like this nigga KK ain't that nigga that I thought he was. This nigga has a heart, nigga. This nigga is really fucking nice. This nigga is sad and shit, has feelings. Like, who is this nigga? Nigga, you taught me how to be the nigga that I was, and I'm going around here being this hard, cold ass nigga in life thinking I'm doing it right. Yeah, thinking I'm doing it right, and this nigga over here all being sweet with bitches, and I'm over here being kind of single in a bitch. Nigga, you never
what? You ran her bathwater? You what?
Oh, this nigga's been lying to me, goddammit.
Oh, man.
This nigga, I thought you was that nigga too. I thought you was that nigga too. I'm over here taking your lead, and nigga, you lead me wrong in a motherfucker.
Well,
over here like fucking, fuck, who is it? Al Sharpton ass over here.
Yeah, you got to, man. You be sending edible arrangements and all that shit, man.
But I think it's worth noting, the same woman that you will run the bathwater for and light the candles and do all that shit for, it's also important to fuck the shit out of her in the back of the car once in a while. You can't just
balance.
Church.
Yeah, you can't just give them that one side because they'll get bored with that shit. So
this nigga always got roses and shit on the ground when I come home.
I don't want no roses. Fucking come on my face, motherfucker.
Give me so we can go to the club. Yeah.
Hey, people like that shit too. I didn't realize, nigga, choking a bitch here and too is not the worst thing to do. Nigga, if you don't choke a bitch, that nigga's like, nigga, who is this weak ass nigga?
That motherfucker grab your head.
What you doing? What are you doing, bitch?
Choke me.
Then you got some on. Then you get some off. You ain't got nothing in your face. What you doing with your hand? You took it like, God damn it!
Like, I cut your whole circulation.
Like, bitch, nigga, we didn't go over no safe words yet. Nigga, what are you doing? I don't know you like that, nigga. You just fuck second time you beating this bitch over there, punching the booty and shit. Nigga, she like hard, nigga. More fingers, like, nigga. I went through some experiences, nigga. I was like, nigga, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't think I'm comfortable with like this one. Like she was like hit me, like no bullshit, hit me. She's like, hit me. I want you to hurt me. I was like, I don't want to hurt you. Yeah. So you've been.
So you've experienced that.
Yeah, like I don't.
Knock you fucking white girls.
If I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. KK, you ever been through shit like that?
No, never.
Never. Oh man, nigga, I was like, and like I'm at, nigga, I'm like, and she's like, that's okay. I'm thinking I'm beating.
My back hurt.
I think I'm beating this bitch up, nigga. And she was like, that was your first time. So I'm like, you want more? Like, what more? Like, I'm gonna like fight you next time. Like, I think like, God damn, I'm hurting myself. Like, I don't know. Y'all women are crazy. Y'all
love the pain.
I don't get it. And those be the good girls.
Yeah.
Those be the good girls. Those be the.
Looks will be deceiving. Yeah. The quiet librarian.
Stop being nice. Look,
stop being like, bitch. I think I'm hurting your ass. They had so one thing I found out, right? No one say nothing. This is gonna be a funny statement, right? The most wildest, freakiest girls out there, nurses and teachers.
I concur.
Nurses?
Nurses Boy, they out
And
there.
nurses
for sure.
Most likely the triage nurses, not the and RNs. Oh, RNs too. Nurses in general. Remember, I changed my
Anybody that wears scrubs.
There you go. Anybody in motherfucking scrubs.
Because you would think it's the strippers.
No, they're not.
It's not.
They have their standards is too high, and it's financial. All their standards is financial. Strippers. Well, trust me, I don't say dated. Look, I've hung out with a couple of strippers, and it was again
quite a few.
Pretty easy transaction. They're wild as fuck.
Quite a few, and those they gave me money. I never gave them shit because they got money.
I heard they're lazy.
They said, "What strip club was this?" Yeah, no, strip club.
Name every strip club in San Antonio. Once upon a time. Let me disclaimer to anybody watching.
This nigga DM.
Get my ass in trouble. This is we talking 15 years ago.
I was just gonna say I ain't been to one in 10 years. I used to always be at like Sugar, PT's, Wild Zebras. Went to Atlanta for
Palace.
Went to Atlanta for Mook's bachelor party. I said I would never give a bitch in San Antonio $1. This one is triple.
Oh wait, was that what you meant by lazy? Like their performance or the in-bedroom performance?
Bedroom performance.
Oh.
Who strippers are?
I've heard.
No. Well, they're desensitized to the whole thing.
Right.
So
that's what they do. So
yeah.
it can sometimes be expected because they're worn out with having to perform and be sexy. So yeah, sometimes it'll come off.
Yeah, because I drive for a living. I can't drive to Walmart when I'm off.
Hand her the keys.
Like, I'm not fucking going. Let's go to the store. You driving? I ain't driving nowhere.
I'm not going no more. Yeah, no. It's like strippers are very desensitized. I've dated a couple of strippers and it's a chore to date a stripper. Like it's a fucking chore, and I don't like chores. I got a sink of dishes we talked about earlier.
And
because
he's
I don't
not lying.
Yeah, no. I normally don't have sinks of dishes.
I've never seen this many dishes in his sink.
Yeah, but Anyway, it's another conversation. But strippers are a chore.
You got a few more years for your kids to get old enough to be.
Yeah, no, I'm picking them up right after this show. Nigga.
I ain't touched the dish in 20 years. Them kids is folk, man. Like, shit, I pay bills. I don't do chores.
Niggas like, fuck them goddamn dishes. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is the show. Once again, Brandon, you signed it already. So everyone who is a guest, sign the table anywhere you want to sign. Move something. Do whatever you so choose.
We're going to have a lot of guests, and Didi don't never come to the motherfucker.
Didi, yeah. Didi, we love you. We need you here.
Fuck that shit.
Right next to where the apple's bit out of.
There you go. There you go. I appreciate it. Fuck that pen. We're gonna have to.
Write my name back on so somebody wipe my shit off.
We're gonna have to get you back on, man.
I just found out I'm 10 minutes down the road, so
yeah. So we're gonna have to get you back on. We're gonna have again once a week. We're gonna do these every Sunday or Saturday, depending on Didi's schedule and how that goes. Didi, that's a joke. We love you. But
I'm upset we didn't get to the dude about his kids and those conversations.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I should, but we're already 2 hours in.
Yeah, no.
And next time we have that conversation. So this is a conversation that was had, and we're not going to go into it. But a friend of mine, a really, really, really close friend of mine. What camera am I on? This camera? No, it's on the side camera. I'm going to switch cameras just because I fucking can. I made these screens for you guys. Y'all going to fucking look at them, okay? So we've had a white guy, real cool, real nice guy. I love him to death like a brother. He actually, football brother. But anyway, he has white kids. He's white. They're 5, 6. They're very young. I'm not sure the age, but I think he has like 4 or 5 of them. His pull-out game is shitty. But with everything going on, he was asking me, and I'm going to tell you I was actually felt kind of cool that he asked me this question.
About talking what to say?
Yeah. So basically he said, hey, Damien, honest question. How do I explain to my kids what's going on in a way that does not articulate subconscious racist bias or prejudice? My kids are old enough to see what's going on and to know something is happening. I don't want to mess this up. So they're asking him questions. And he doesn't know how to explain to them to where they'll understand it. I was trying to give some movies, some suggestions. Again, I'm not going to get into it, but if anyone listening to this, I would love to see you put your answers in the comment box. I want to see what you think because I really don't know how to tell him how to raise white kids. I know how to raise my black kids, and I know how I was raised from black parents. I know Adrian had some good suggestions. We were talking about movies, and he said, fuck movies. But anyway, put your suggestions in the comment box, the chat, whatever. I would have it right there, but I don't. Put comments in it. I'm going to read all of them. Let me know exactly what you think so I can know what to tell him, and hopefully next week we can get him on the show and he can kind of experience his what he's going through as a parent on his side of the spectrum, okay? But once again, thank y'all for watching and tuning into this show. I loved having y'all on here. I hope y'all like the new shit we did with the shit that goes around here that looks all cool, and the buttons, and we didn't get to the most greatest, awesomest thing in the world, but we have some fun shit for y'all to look at and watch and laugh while we are commentating the show and just talking. But once again, KK, what do you have to say?
See y'all next week.
Adrian, that's it, man.
That's it, man. I ain't got shit. I'm like Russell Simmons in this motherfucker.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you.
Good night. Say something, Russ.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
It's for 5 years straight.
Hey, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. What do you have for the people? Once again, thanks for coming on. What do you have to say to them?
Thank you for having me. And then what I would say to people is focus on what's going on right now, and don't let the media change the narrative and the reality of everything going on us right now. So that's my message. Just pay attention. Remember, peace didn't bring about the changes you're seeing right now.
Peace did not. Boston Tea Party, shit. And guys, once again, thank y'all for coming on. I have no positive words. My colleagues basically said everything that has to be said. But I guess if I have to say something, and Brandon, I'm going to ask you in a second. Have purpose in everything you do. That's my biggest thing. When it comes to the marches and the protests and the riots, make sure that there's an end game to it. When it comes to July 7th, make sure you have an end game to July 7th. What is the purpose, and what is your counter to that? What else are you going to do if you're not going to support that? And don't make it be just a day. If you want to hit them, hit them. Let's come up with a fucking plan and a purpose to whatever it is you want to do, whether it's a protest, whether it's a relationship, whether it's social reform, police reform, or whatever. Have a plan. Brianna?
Sorry, Redog says have it on a Saturday so she can be on the show.
Riri. Oh, y'all can get a bunch of ignorant nigga shit from her. That's my cousin Marie. She definitely, we need to have her on the show. What do you got to say for the people, Brianna?
Do your homework. The media doesn't tell you everything. Don't believe everything that you see or you hear. Dig deeper.
Dig deeper. Google is in the palm of everybody's hand. The smartest person you've ever known in life. Research, fact check what you find on Google. Fact check that, and you'll get your information. Come up with your own answers yourself. Don't let someone tell you what to think. Once again, I love everybody out there. Thank y'all for watching. We're on fucking YouTube now.
Subscribe.
Oh, hey, fucking info. Boom, boom. This is where we're at, man. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and our Facebook page. Like and love us. We're going to get this shit big for you guys. And thank y'all for watching. Peace. That was a good one, man. I know you see. I'm surprised your ass is still awake. Yeah, you have work to do.